What is going on, everybody? This is the Sixers versus Celtics watch party. We are the Painted Lines. I am Justin at J_Persichetti. I got Dives with me at Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. And we got a special guest today, Connor, one of my boys, big Celtics fan.
Come on.
Anyway, today our matchup for the Sixers is against the Celtics, who are 8-4 and leading the conference. This game is going to decide the winner of the East right now. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. How's everybody doing today? I mean, what are you most excited about today, Dibs?
Most excited about? Sixers are back. Joelle Embiid against Boston, getting that terrible taste from the Celtics Sixers playoffs last year, getting swept. So I'm a little, on one end, I'm a little disappointed Jason Tatum's not playing because I wanted to watch Ben take on Tatum tonight. And on the other end, I'm a little disheartened because I wanted to see the engine of the Sixers, Seth Curry, play versus Boston. And I wanted to get our first glimpse because how many times have we heard it? Like the Sixers haven't played anybody, even though when they're fully healthy, they're 7-0. So this was another example, like the Nets the previous week. This was going to be that example where we'll see where the Sixers are, but because of COVID-19 and all that crap, I think this is just the nature of the game in 2021. So I'm excited.
How about you, Connor?
Yeah, I'm right there with them. These are the best matchups all year. It's what I look forward to all season. Watch the Celtics beat down on the Sixers. You know how it's just a shame that Tatum can't play because of this whole COVID stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how the new big Tristan Thompson matches up with Joelle Embiid tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's something that everybody is most excited for is Joel Embiid and just seeing how he's going to be. I mean, Joel's been out for a week, and something that you see with him a lot of times is his conditioning can be an issue. So we're going to see, is he going to be well-conditioned coming in this game after being out for a week? What do you guys think? How about you, Dibs?
Sorry, what was the question, Embiid?
Real quick. We got Corey joining. Corey, move your screen a little bit down so we can see your face a little bit easier. You're hiding at the bottom of your screen. What's up, man? Oh,
he's out.
There he goes.
Man.
We'll let him figure that out. 1 second.
We have Dunder Dude saying "Boo," a Celtics fan. We have Marky215 saying, "Is that a Celtics jersey?"
Yes, sir. Jaylen Brown, baby.
So we've got a dreaded, terrible Celtics fan joining for a bit tonight.
Yeah. So Dive, what is your thought on Joel Embiid coming back after being out for a week? Do you think he's going to be the same Joel we were seeing before, that MVP-like player, or do you think he's going to struggle a little bit today? What are your thoughts?
Man, I think that's one of my keys of the game is turnovers. We talked about last game, like the turnovers have to stop. The Sixers stats from the last game, Ben had a ridiculous turnover percentage of 36.7. Just his, you look at the team turnover percentage, 18.3%, second highest besides against that Cleveland Cavaliers game back on December 27th. The turnovers have to stop. When the Sixers starting lineup do not turn over the ball, they are a force to be reckoned with. You look at on all 5 losses for the Sixers in the starting lineup, you've got Cleveland 15, Brooklyn 19, Denver 11, Atlanta 7, which was that crazy game when no one played and you just throw that game out the window.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
No, and then Memphis 16. So what does that mean? In all 5 Sixers losses, the Sixers starters alone averaged nearly 14 turnovers a game. The worst team in the NBA at turnovers per game is the Miami Heat, which is 18 per game. The Sixers have been averaging 20 turnovers per game over the last 3 games. It's easy. It's easy. Control the pace, limit turnovers. I know Seth isn't back yet, but the Sixers starters and Joel Embiid have to limit the turnovers. I'm talking to you, Ben. As much as I love Ben Simmons, I'm a Ben Simmons guy, but we've been very critical over this guy over the last week or two, not attacking, really just going through the motions on offense. Love his defense. I'm sad we don't get to see him and Tatum go back and forth. By the way, Connor, I want to throw these stats at you, all right? you look at Ben Simmons versus Tatum last year. Tatum shot 8 of 22, 5 of 18, 4 of 13, and 7 of 19. I don't think Tatum has COVID-19 or anything. He's just scared. Tatum is soft. Tatum is
You think
soft.
he just missed these past 2 weeks preparing for Ben Simmons? Too scared?
Yes, 100%.
I think those extra 2 inches give him another 10% on the field goals.
Real quick, everybody. Corey, can you hear us? You can hear us? We can't hear you. No.
Are you using Google Chrome? Make sure to use Google Chrome.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
there we
There you
go.
are. Say something,
Say something.
Corey.
Talk to us.
Is he just staring? What's
I
going
don't know
on?
if you can hear us. I don't know if you can hear us, but we
I
have
don't know.
we have Nate Ebenezer saying, "Go Celtics, beat the Sixers."
Go.
Here we go. Here we go. The Celtics fans are in the house tonight.
Love to see this.
And this is really what it comes down to. Marky 215 Tristan is barbecue chicken tonight because Joel Embiid, the Celtics have nobody that can stop Joel Embiid, period. If Embiid doesn't cook tonight, there's something else going on. But I do expect MVP to Joel. Long story short, I expect Joel Embiid to return to MVP form tonight.
Yes, sir. And I mean, you got to hope that. I mean, realistically, he is a guy who is kind of about rhythm, it seems like. And when it comes to if he isn't playing for a game or two, that can sometimes affect him. Obviously, we can hope that does not happen. Corey, can you hear us? And now we can't hear you. Now we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Corey.
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you. Anyway, Connor, who do you think is like for this game? Who do you think your player of the game is? Who do you think is going to have the best night for the Celtics?
I'm looking for, obviously Jaylen Brown has been the star of it, but Kemba is back, and in he's restricted to 20 minutes, but I'm expecting in those 20 minutes of the game that maybe he can start to cook a little bit, hit some step backs, drive to the basket, get in, draw some fouls on Joel Embiid, maybe get Ben Simmons to have to switch off of him and, kicks it out for an open 3 to Semi Ojeleye or something. Stuff like that is what I'm looking for from Kemba.
Gotcha. What's up, Austin? If you don't know, this is our man, Austin Carell. He's a beat reporter for the Sixers for us at the Painted Lines. How you doing, Austin?
Very good. I see we have some new faces here.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, this is Corey, and we got Connor here. Connor is a Celtics fan, though.
I can see.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
We have I want to interrupt you. We have Boston super fan joining. I'd love to hop on one of these times. This dude loves him some Tiago, and Tiago will be joining us during the post-game show. So stay tuned with that. And we'll be doing the post-game show right when the clock hits 0.
Dunder Dude says, "Get this green out of here." Connor, people don't like you, man.
Hey,
People
man,
are not like you.
I got the same amount of hate right back towards the Sixers.
Oh man. All right. So let's talk about this then. Dibes, what do you think is your player of the game coming into this game?
Got to roll with my 6th man tonight. That is Shake Milton. Shake is now averaging nearly 22 points a game in January, 6 games, nearly 1.2 points per possession as a scorer in the pick and roll, 89th percentile, nearly 70% true shooting percentage. I remember vividly watching Alec Burks, yes, the black hole of the NBA on offense, Alec Burks being our main threat off the bench versus the Sixers Celtics playoff series last year. Just Shake is just a completely different look for the Celtics off the bench. I'm going with the spark off the bench. I'm going with the hot hand, rolling with Shake Milton tonight.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, listen, I don't disagree with that. How about you, Austin? What do you think is your player of the game coming into this game?
For me, it's going to be Ben. I think Boston's probably going to look to run a lot in transition. I just think that with like Kemba, like coming off injury, it's going to be harder for him to create space in a half court setting. So their offense is probably going to come better in a full court setting. And so I think if you have a fast paced game, that kind of benefits Ben more than really anyone on the team. Of course, that is if he's not like driving into the lane and then throwing passes behind his head backwards. But I mean, I think part of that definitely has to be, I think the fans, they think they know more than they think they know more than the eye is what I'll say. Because a lot is, I think Ben is not taking this as easily as everyone thinks he is. I think he's listening. He's doing everything he can to listen to Doc. But I think right now he's, maybe not in the best space because he's being coachable. He's doing a good job in practice and doing what Doc tells him to do. And yet everyone's shitting on him. So
yeah, so I actually have a question with for you about that. So remember when in the first 2 games of the season when Toby was having a rough time, and you could tell he was like, "Listen, guys, I'm trying. Like it's just not going well for me right now. I'm going to figure it out." Do you think it's something like that where Ben is going to eventually come out and be able to figure it out and be playing better throughout the season, or do you think this is going to be something that he struggles with a lot in Doc's offense?
I think. It's a good question. I think with Ben, it's probably a little bit more of a difficult fix because Doc knows what Doc has. It's like with Doc and Tobias, it's like you've seen the test beforehand, like what the test is. Like it's a streamline right to the correct answer. With Ben, I think there's going to be some holding on to something that maybe they're trying to figure it out. Like it's not a shock to me that Doc was the biggest advocate for in that Harden trade, because Doc has a vision for Ben. He wants to see it through, and obviously with Ben, there's an element of pride there that if he can figure it out, he can say, "I figured out Ben Simmons." So I mean, I think there's a lot of moving parts here. Again, it's very early still. In not only in the season, but in the whole Doc Rivers tenure. I just think that people got to chill a little bit with Ben.
No, I mean, and I think that's understandable. And I mean, I think everybody hopes that he can get his stuff together and really figure out what he's going to be for this team. So Corey, let's get you talking, everybody. This is Corey. It's his first time on here, so welcome.
Okay, guys, can you hear me now?
Right now, what's
Can you hear me now? Are you good?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Good. Okay, good.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. So, who is your player of the game coming into this Celtics game?
I think it's personally going to be Joel Embiid, but to go along with what Austin was saying, I think it should be I think it needs to be Ben Simmons because personally, I think he needs to start performing a lot better than he has. I understand everything that's been on his plate and with all the rumors and everything that's been going on. But at this point, he needs to put that by him. The trade's already happened. At this point, it's like you need to go out there and, show us that you are capable of scoring. Everybody's okay with the rebounds and the assists. Everybody likes to see the close triple-double. But in my opinion, I want to see him start to score 15 to 18 points at least. So if he can do that tonight, I think he'll be my MVP for the game.
That's kind of my point, though. I don't know that Doc is hammering it into Ben's head you have to score every single time. I think Doc's telling him to get everybody involved. Yeah, and I mean
sorry, yeah. You're good, Corey. Go ahead.
No, I definitely agree. I know Doc's definitely the type of guy not to force something like that with Ben. We've seen his interviews, his reports and everything. But in my opinion, I think Ben needs to see it for himself and realize what he's missing to really help that team. Especially, it's nice to see Joelle back tonight, but in terms of these games going forward, especially, he really needs to see for himself what he's capable of doing. I know Doc's not going to be the person that does it. He's definitely going to push him and motivate him, but I think Ben is the only one capable of actually doing it. And I think he can, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And I mean, so off of that, my player of the game coming into this game, I think it's got to be, and I think typically if Jason Tatum's playing, I think I would say Tobias Harris, but because he is not, I'm going to say Tyrese Maxey. I'm really interested to see how Tyrese Maxey does today, especially if he's in the starting lineup, because I have a strong feeling they're going to try to run him on Kemba. I'm interested to see how he guards a small guard like that. Being that Maxey is around 6'1", he does have really quick lateral movement, which is something that the Sixers have struggled with in past years with getting those small guards stopped. So I don't think he's going to stop him by any means. You're not going to stop a guy like that. But I think it's going to be interesting to see that matchup. So I'm going to say Tyrese Maxey, my player of the game tonight. So let's move on. Or what did Nadir say? Ben needs to have more made field goals than turnovers. I think we can all agree with that one. What do you think?
I'm gonna make it clear to Nadir because I was giving him some crap about Furkan during our previous show here.
Can we stop with the Furkan stuff? He's not this franchise altering. Like, oh good, Furkan's back. Like they're gonna be back. Like the guy needs to make open threes. Can he make open threes before he's anointed? Like this like Peja Stojakovic type player. Like, come on.
Like before my Ben Simmons point, Connor, like, what's your take on Furkan Korkmaz?
I mean, he's an alright shooter. He can't really create for himself because he's not that dude. He can shoot the three if you get him an open look, but he's no showstopper. He's not gonna run a team and lead you to a championship or anything. By no means.
Hold on, Dibs. What were you about to say?
I'm surprised Connor even knew who Furkan Korkmaz actually is because he barely played.
I've seen him play enough to know he's not that dude.
But yeah, I'll just make it clear that we have been on Ben Simmons and really criticizing him really the last week or two. So it's not just we have this insane homerism about Ben Simmons. Am I wrong, Justin? Like we really hammer.
No, we have been hammering Ben Simmons on, like you said, a regular basis. It's been something consistently that us and Jason and Austin have all said. Jason and Austin being our two beat reporters for the Sixers. So it's not like we're fans that are just overreacting. Like this is something that's been a consistent thing, and it's been even more of a problem as of late. So I think that the biggest problem with Ben is that we're not seeing growth. We're seeing the same thing come out, and as Jason said in past streams, it seems as though like other defenses have just figured him out, and he's not changing.
It's the turnovers. It's the turnovers. Nadir is completely right. It's the turnovers. When you look at when the Sixers lose, the turnovers are way up. He's way less involved. In the 9 wins, Ben's offensive rating is 113. In the 3 losses, it's 79. In the wins, he's a plus 14. In the losses, he's a negative 20.3. The assists in wins go from 9 to losses to 5. So the turnovers are up, the passing is down, and I think the attempts are right around the same area. But you just see this guy in coast mode offensively, and he just that's the frustrating part about Ben Simmons. He's terrific, 9 out of 10 things that he does on the court. But he seems to have this off button that he just flicks, and he just seemingly goes in coast mode. But that doesn't account for how impactful he is for everyone else on that court when he's not scoring the ball. So this notion that he needs to score the ball is crazy. He absolutely has to cut down on the turnovers. They are astronomical, and we have been ripping him for the last week or two. And we've been seemingly seeing more of the jump pass, more of the just dive into the paint, jump up and look to pass. Something that we saw in years past that you really start to question this guy's development because that is inexcusable.
Yeah, and I love Dunder Dude's comment here. What colored shoes is Furkan going to wear tonight?
Poop colored.
We have almost no rules on this show. Like the one rule is like, be kind to everybody. The second rule is you can never give credit to Nadir for being right.
Listen.
What?
Oh God! Look at this. He's a rich man's Michael Carter Williams. All right, Nadir. Listen, we're done. We're done with you for right now.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on. I want to talk about the matchup of Tyrese Maxey and Peyton Pritchard a little bit. Peyton Pritchard's been a big name in Boston lately. I know because Connor has talked to me about him. He loves Peyton Pritchard. So
Love that, man.
Connor,
I like
how much attention have you paid to Tyrese Maxey, and what do you think the matchup would be like of Peyton Pritchard and Tyrese?
So I haven't watched too much Tyrese Maxey. I've seen, here and there, caught in on a couple games when he was playing. But Peyton Pritchard is so fast at running the offense. He gets from baseline to all the way up the court in like 2 seconds, which is phenomenal for running a fast-paced offense, especially coming off the bench. I know you guys were talking about the lateral quickness of Tyrese Maxey, which is going to be something that Peyton's going to struggle to get around him with. So Peyton's really going to have to rely on his passing, which he's become very crafty at that, getting it inside to, the big man, throwing it out for an open three, just drawing another guy when he's on the pick and roll. Peyton's been super good, but I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to match up with another, rookie that's also quick and just like him, essentially.
I gotta say, I don't mind Connor. I think he's got a future in this.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to our predictions of today's game. So, Dibes, who do you think gets the W tonight, and what do you think? What do you have any idea what the score is going to be?
Before prediction, another key that I had was stop Kemba. One of the most bizarre stats that I came across today was Kemba Walker only averages 21.7 points per game in 30 games versus the Sixers. That's way low. You can easily double that, and I'd be like, that makes sense.
He just dropped 60 against them in a game. So
so Kemba Walker, stopping him in the pick and roll is everything, because the Sixers defense at stopping a guy like that, rolling to the basket in the pick and roll, has been really, really bad lately. You saw the Celtics get destroyed by 30 to the New York Knicks recently. Kemba played. It didn't matter at all. They got 30% from the floor, 15% from three. Let's hope that rolls to tonight. I think it really boils down to the Sixers bench. I see the Sixers bench dominating this game, and that's the difference. Shake Milton, Dwight Howard pick and roll. At the end of the day, the Sixers are just notoriously really good shooters at home. If we can hit our threes, limit those turnovers like we talked about, and the bench, overall wins the battle. I see the Sixers winning 108 to 103 tonight, but it's still going to be a hard-fought battle.
All right. How about you, Austin? Who do you think comes out with the W tonight, and what do you think your prediction is on the score?
my prediction is that Ben Simmons dunks so hard that Nadir's Wi-Fi goes out. and he can't tune into the post-game show. My other prediction would be that I do think the Sixers lose tonight. I think this gears up to be a loss. No Tatum, a lot of expectations to win. So naturally they find a way to lose. And then so, just like there was the Capitol building raid, there's going to be like a raid of the Wells Fargo Center.
Oh God. Dunder Dude says Sixers win 140 to 80. I'm gonna throw it over to Corey now. Corey, what is your prediction on whether the Sixers win tonight, and do you think you have a prediction for the score or not?
Yeah, so I think Joelle is going to end up having 40 points and at least 10 rebounds. I think the Sixers are going to lose, though. I think it's going to come down to the wire. I think Joel's going to have to really push the team to make it, keep it close. But I do think we're going to end up falling. Final score, 105-100.
Dang, close game. How about you, Connor? Who do you think comes out with the W tonight, and do you have a score prediction for us?
All right, I think it's all going to come down to the rebounds. Whoever can, crash the boards. Celtics have been great with the boards for how small they are, especially, having Tristan Thompson being able to grab offensive boards. But I don't think they have enough to beat the Sixers without Tatum. I think they're going to be struggling to score. They're not going to have that guy to go to. I think the score is going to be like 105-98 Sixers. I just don't think the Celtics have it tonight.
No, and I think that's understandable when a team like the Celtics right now, being that you guys are pretty top heavy, it's tough when you're missing your best scorer on the team. And I think that's definitely a logical answer. I think the Sixers, in my opinion, score a little bit more than that. I think the Sixers come out with a W tonight. I'm going to say Sixers score about 115 to like 105, that range. Just being that we do have most of our team back on the court now, which is nice. Obviously, we don't have Seth Curry tonight, which is not ideal, but having Joelle out there again, I think it should be a good game for us. But yeah. Oh, listen, Connor, you're getting respect right here. Dunder Dude says respect Connor. Listen.
Hey, man, I know a little bit about basketball.
Yeah, Aram says Jason Tatum completely carries his team. The fact that he is not playing means you shouldn't worry about this game. See, but I think that's the problem. I think
that's entirely not true. Jaylen Brown's playing at an all-star level right now.
Jaylen Brown's averaging more points than Jason Tatum right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
What'd you say, Crow?
I would like to address one important point. I am not emo. I actually, and I know I'm not emo because I once, I will say, had interest in an emo girl who you definitely do not have much in common. So I don't think I'm emo. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. This is what we get, everybody. This is Austin Krell. If you don't know him, now you know him.
I don't know what any of those things mean. Chemical romance?
What?
I don't know what Fall Out Boy is either.
Come on.
You're kidding, right?
Wait, is Fall Out Boy no, I don't think that's it. I think it's a different artist. Never mind.
Jaylen Brown without Jason Tatum is nothing. What do you think about that, Connor?
I don't think he's necessarily nothing. I don't think Jaylen Brown's your number one option. I think he benefits a lot from having that guy like Jason Tatum to take away a little bit of pressure from him, have that number one defender, on a different guy. But
real quick, Connor. Sorry. We got our man Jason Blevins at J Blevins NBA with us. He is in Wells Fargo right now. Jason, how's it going?
Good. Sorry I'm late. I had to do radio, so jumped on here. I just remembered I wanted to jump on. So we've only got 9 minutes before tip, but good to see so many of you on here. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you don't know, this is Corey. He is a big Sixers fan, and we got Connor as well, a Celtics fan. So we got a rival on here with us. But how are you doing? If you don't know, Jay Blevins NBA, Jason Blevins is our beat reporter for the Painted Lines. He is in Wells Fargo right now for reporting the game. So how are you doing? What are you expecting the game to turn out like tonight?
I have no expectations. Connor, I will say thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I watched Taco Fall a lot last year when he was with the Red Claws. And I watched him do some turnaround stuff today on a drive with a little hook.
Mm-hmm.
He pressed a lot. I will tell you, I watched him run the floor. He's faster this year than he was last year. He's still got a janky-ass jump shot. His progression is real. There is real progress. This is the second time I've seen him in person this year. But I'm going to tell you, a guy that size, you can't teach it. But he's learning the stuff you can teach. So I'd actually be really optimistic that he's going to be a useful player.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I think Boston definitely hopes that. Boston definitely hopes that, I'd assume.
How do you have no expectations from that? How do you just have no expectations?
I watched the first half of the first quarter before I even try to think about how the game's going to turn out.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
I mean,
so
no secret to it. There's no magic to it.
Jason, remember watching Chris Kumaji versus Taco Fall?
Yep,
And
sure.
they were both teams refused to play those two together against each other. And there were some fans booing that Taco would come off when Kumaji would come in. And we never really got, I think you only got 1 or 2 possessions.
Yeah, it wasn't much. I agree.
But 2 of the biggest people I've ever seen ever.
So
For sure. It's indescribable until you're within 10 feet of them. You can't describe it. You just can't describe the difference. I had to use the first time I interviewed Chris Kumaji, I had to use the telescoping holder to my phone just to get the audio, just to get close enough for the audio. I interview Joel Embiid all the time. I don't have to do that. That's how different it is. They're on a different scale. I posted a video. I posted a photo last time Boston was in here of Dwight Howard and Taco Fall standing next to each other in the post, like boxing out. I mean, Taco Fall makes Dwight Howard look like he's 5'10". It's crazy.
He's like 12 feet tall.
It's impossible to describe. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. The first time I ever went to Wells Fargo and even just saw Joel Embiid, I was like, man, that is a big man. So I can't imagine how it's like seeing Taco Fall in person. So it looks like Connor dipped out. So we want to thank him for joining us tonight. That is a big Boston Celtics fan right there. So hopefully we can have him on again when we play Boston. We'll see what happens. But that was Connor. Jason, we were talking earlier about Ben Simmons and what he needs to improve on. Do you want to give any of your thoughts about Ben Simmons?
Defenses have figured him out. They've got the book on him. It's now up to him to adjust. So they're walling him off 6 to 8 feet from the basket. He's picking up his dribble. He's turning around, looking for outlets. Defenses are jumping the routes. They're taking away the corner three. All the things that he loved doing, they're taking it away. It's now up to him to adjust. And there's no excuses. It shouldn't be a thing where you baby the guy or coddle the guy. There's no excuses. It's time to adapt.
No, I get that. And with that, who is your player of the game tonight? Who do you think needs to step up tonight?
Well, I think everything's got to start through Joel Embiid. And I don't think the matchups are great. Boston doesn't really have a big man, so they have to that can guard him that well. So they're going to have to double and trap. And when they double, guys like Furkan are going to have to knock down shots. Maxi's going to get a lot of opportunities to get downhill. He's going to start. Everything's going to play out of that post. I think Ben Simmons is going to try to play some post play and play some 4-man tonight. We'll see if he can create some opportunities out of the post with his back to the basket. But I think the Celtics are going to be really happy not to double Ben in the post. So I don't think he's going to have quite the outlets that he should in theory, because I don't think he can command really a double team. I think, again, like every other game, their best player is going to be their key player.
Gotcha. And for the Celtics, now I kind of want to talk about this with everybody. What do you think they could or need to bring to the game today to even have a chance on beating the Sixers, being that they are down Tatum tonight? And I don't know, Dibs, you want to start out with that?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The Celtics tonight coming in without Jason Tatum. What do you think that needs to go right for them if they want to have a chance on beating the Sixers tonight?
It's the bench, man. It's got to be the bench. The Celtics bench is not good. That is a clear advantage in favor of the Sixers. If the Sixers bench doesn't play well tonight, maybe the Celtics have a shot. That is the main difference, at least in this matchup, even without Tatum. I think the Celtics bench, if they step up, this becomes a real tough game.
Gotcha. How about you, Austin?
We have someone who has chosen violence with Jason. They've said, no excuse, just make it happen. Okay, then you better say that about every single player who plays bad. You have been accused of bias, Jason. Your response?
Oh, yeah? So which player do I coddle? I mean, come on. Like, I'm very complimentary about what Ben does well, but I'm not going to sit here and baby this kid. Like, what are we doing here?
And I think we got to be honest
fourth
too.
Year in the league. Fourth year. We're not like hoping and wishing at this point. You see how they're playing you. It's time to adapt. And look, I'll say it about Tyrese Maxey. when he gets into an opposing team's game plan, we'll see what we really have when they start to take away what he can do. When they start stepping out and challenging the pull-ups, challenging the floaters, that's when you really see what you've got. He's passed every test so far, but like I've said before with Matisse Thybulle, Matisse looked great until he got into other teams' game plans, and then they started making him pay for some of those gambles. This is just reality of elite level of sports. There are elite defenders on the other side, elite coaches picking apart all of your weak spots. Trust me, they see his weak spots much more than fans do. So the arguments of dying on the hill for a guy, none of these coaches are doing that. It's just, come on.
I think with that, one thing we know about Jason is that everything he says on here to us, he will say to a player's face as well. He in Ben Simmons post-game press conference, he asked him the same question we were talking about right now. So he's not saying anything he would not say to a player's face to talk about what they're doing.
100%. Everybody who was on here the other night knows I asked Ben on this live stream what he was going to do to adjust to the way teams are playing him. And he acknowledged the problem. He hedged a little bit, said every game is different, but he acknowledged that the book's out on him right now and he's got to adjust. So,
Yeah.
I can confirm Jason has told me I suck many times.
What's that?
He said he can confirm you've told him that he sucks many times.
And
I would be way more specific about why. I wouldn't just say you suck. I'll tell you why you suck. On that note,
my takes.
On that note, I gotta go.
All right, see you, Jason. Enjoy the game.
Later, guys.
We'll see you after, right?
Thanks to everyone who joined.
Are we going to see you after, Jay? Okay, never mind. We'll talk to him later.
Not going to see me.
Not gonna see you. All right, guys. If you have not already, go follow Austin Krell on Twitter at NBA Krell. He is a Sixers beat reporter, and he also
Venmo me too.
If you want, you can Venmo him. Also, he does post a article every time after every game on thepaintedlines.com. So go check that out if you do not already. Go check out his podcast as well, The Feed to Embiid, on the Painted Lines YouTube channel, and I believe it's on other podcasts places as well, like Apple Podcasts and everything like that. Correct? Yeah. So do you have any plugs you want to give out before, that I already didn't? No?
This will be the new name, Emo Krell. Legally, going forward, I will be referred to as Emo Krell.
That's got to be your new handle.
You can find non-Apple users, Martians, I guess I'd call them. You can find the podcast on SoundCloud and on YouTube most of the time. That's all I got. I'll see you guys later.
All right, see you, Austin. Enjoy the game.
See you, Austin.
All right, I'm going to do a couple plugs before we get rolling here. We're getting close to tip-off. If you're a lover of the Philadelphia Flyers, we've got the Flyered Up podcast at 8 p.m. tonight. They're going to be recapping, talking early first impressions of the 3-1 Philadelphia Flyers. Flyered Up podcast featuring Chris Mayer and my man Amadeo. Amazing stuff. If you guys haven't seen it yet, these guys know the ins and outs of hockey. Unlike me, these guys run in circles. I'm like, huh? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not. Hockey's on the bottom of my totem pole. I've been having a lot of fun watching the Flyers watch parties with those guys, but they know a lot of crap about the Flyers, and I fully recommend 8 p.m. Philadelphia Flyers, Flyered Up podcast. And then my man Brock.
Oh, yeah, Brock.
Brock is dropping a 2-part video. If you haven't seen any of Brock's videos, film breakdown videos, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Nobody else drops content like this. Brock has a 2-parter coming out tomorrow on why all the haters about Ben Simmons need to shut the F up. And it's dropping tomorrow. So if you are critical about Ben Simmons and want to, see some real knowledge, those are coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, Brock is one of the best basketball heads we have on our TPL team. I would say him and Tiago are up there. Him and Tiago up there. And you, if you do not know already, Tiago will be on with our post game. So the good looking man himself will be there.
So he's the handsome one.
Okay,
now we've got the emo one in Austin. I'm not even going to say yours.
No, we're not doing it. Not doing it. Okay, but let's get into this. Corey, we haven't really talked to you much. I know there was a lot of things going on with the pregame, and you just got in here a little late. But what's up, man? If you guys don't know, this is Corey at Corey Criblier on Twitter. He is going to be – oh, we got a donation. I didn't even see that. Look at that. Dives you a clown image watching – imagine watching WandaVision at 4 a.m. I agree with him. That's nuts.
Woke up at 3:30, did a live watch party of WandaVision. You can also see my full review at thepantlines.com of that. And we also did a spoiler review that night. So if anybody watching doesn't already know, I'm a huge MCU, comic book movie, Star Wars, you name it fan. I live and breathe that stuff. So I'll be doing another review coming out this Friday of WandaVision episode 3. So that's brutal, man. When you do a live watch party at 4 a.m., man, it's hard.
Yeah, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. But
what time did you go to sleep for that?
I took sleep medicine and I was out by like 7:30. Which is only like an hour like less than my regular bedtime. I'm an old dad, man.
Listen, 4 a.m. first thing you're doing is streaming a podcast. That's got to be fun. That's got to be interesting. First thing in the morning.
Listen, Dives is a grinder. And we all know that. But yeah, Corey. So what are your thoughts on today's game? What are you excited to watch? I know you're a big Sixers fan, but I also know you're a critique of the Sixers as well. So do you have any like big takeaways so far this season?
Well, Tyrese Maxey has been exciting for sure. He's a big guy for tonight. I'm excited to see him in Pritchard's matchup. Both young rookies, exciting. Both speedy guys, elusive, jumpy, create their own shots. One thing I'm really interested in seeing though with that matchup, I know you were talking to Connor earlier, is honestly seeing if Pritchard can hold Maxey strength. Really, honestly, just driving inside. I'm curious to see if he's capable of being able to help handle Maxey going inside on that matchup. Obviously, he's going to have low guys, so I'm curious how that's all going to work out. But Ben, for sure. I know Jason honestly was agreeing with some of the stuff I was saying earlier. I think at this point there's really no excuse, and the biggest takeaway for me this whole season is honestly going to be can he make a difference? Like, can he not make an excuse and just push forward and set all the drama aside and really realize what he's doing? And but as for tonight, I'm just excited to see the guys back together. Maxey in the starting lineup. Obviously, I miss Seth Curry still.
Yeah.
But Furky, it's a big chance for him to step back up. He's been out for a little while, and a lot of the guys who stepped up for him have played very well. So I'm interested in seeing how he's going to play coming back tonight, and especially our bench. I think we're going to need our bench. And same thing with Tobias. I'm excited to see. Honestly, how everybody plays. Just excited to see them play Celtics.
Corey is excited about how everyone plays. What did Chris Dunn say? Chris Dunn said, first real game of the year. Wish we had Seth, but let's see where we truly stand. So, yeah, we agree, Chris. But the only issue with that is that Jason Tatum is not in the lineup for the Celtics tonight. He did not make the trip to Philly. So, sadly, it's not a true test yet, in my opinion, which kind of sucks, but I mean, in my opinion, a win counts no matter what. Whether Jason Tatum's on the floor or not, I think the biggest test to see today is guard play and to see how we do defensively against guys like Kemba and Jaylen Brown.
I want to piggyback off of what Corey. I'm just eating pretzels and these are really sorry. I want to piggyback off of what Corey just said about Tobias Harris. Was that the first time Toby was mentioned all night?
Yeah, I think so.
This guy low-key is averaging over 20 plus points per game in January, shooting over 41% from three. He's been terrific. That guy has blown away a lot of the criticism that has really cast a shadow over him over these last years. So Toby's a really good pick, man. Talk about going against the Celtics and needing a guy on offense to step up. We haven't had it in quite some time. Toby, man, I love the Toby pick.
No, I agree. And I think Toby's been a guy, even coming into this season, that was a little bit underrated. A lot of people coming into the season, we were like, okay, let's trade Tobias. Let's bring somebody else in. And that's kind of been the conversation. And he got off to a slow start, which really didn't help his case with the Sixers fans. But as the season went on, he obviously was the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. And I believe it was the second week of the year. And he was hot right up until he had to get sidelined because of COVID. So, I mean, hopefully he can keep stepping up and keep doing what he's been doing. And hopefully Sixers fans learn to appreciate that. Connor did say real quick, Connor's in our comments right now. What's up, Connor? He said Tatum is 50-50 for Friday. So we could possibly see him come into play on Friday's game against the Celtics, but we will see. Yeah, here we go. Game started up.
Yeah,
By the way, Corey.
Kemba hits a three to start off. That is not a good sign.
No,
has killed the Sixers. He's one of the thorns.
Yep.
Tyrese Maxey pull up Jay, misses it.
Oh my goodness.
I kind of have a two-part question for you guys about Simmons. One, I think we all agree that defenses have figured him out. My first part of the question is, what do you think the biggest takeaway for this game in particular that he needs to change to help the team tonight?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The biggest thing is honestly something that's going to take him all season to figure out. He needs to learn how to attack attack the basket in the pick and roll. He's terrible as a pick and roll scorer, like 0.2, 0.3 points per possession in the pick and roll. He's learning it for the first time. So having expectations that he's going to out the gate offensively crush it, it's expected. And when you take guys like Seth Curry out, who's like Jason Blevin said, the gravitational force, he's like JJ Redick on steroids. That makes so much of a difference. He is literally what creates so much of the spacing for Joelle. But for Ben, I just want that fearlessness to get to the free throw line. It starts with the free throw line. And as a pick and roll scorer, I just want him to put his head down and attack and look to get to the free throw line. I'm not worried about corner threes. I could care less about Ben Simmons taking 3-pointers. But when Ben Simmons is on fire, it's when he's playing downhill and looking to get to the basket. When he's not, and he's in coast mode, he's driving into the paint, jumping in the air, and looking to pass. It's night and day.
So I want to start off with something real quick. So something that's a little worrisome so far for me in the Celtics game is that Celtics are hot from three to start out right now. They're 4 for 5 from three. They're 4 for 5 from three right now, and we're still working, trying to get into our offense. Something that's a little upsets me a bit is Ben Simmons a little bit earlier just passed out in the post when he had Kemba on him. So
he's selfish to a fault, man. He is selfish to a fault. When he has those, we've seen it in the past. When he has those mismatches, he doesn't take advantage of them. That is a major concern for a guy that has been in the league for this long, and we've been calling him out on these shows, on these live streams over and over and over again. Ben needs to take advantage of that. There's no excuses anymore. Yeah.
No, and I think that's something that most Sixers fans can agree on. And as much as you love the selflessness and you love that he's a star in the league that isn't afraid to pass out and wants to get his teammates involved, you love that. But like you said, it's to a fault. It's at this point it affects the team more that he's not trying to get his own more often on a regular basis.
We saw Ben take a charge. That's a good way to get him involved early on. Here's more Ben, Joelle pick and roll. Ben misses a little kind of like baby hook outside of like 3-5 feet. So that's where he needs to thrive. That's exactly what I just said. Like he needs to get comfortable in that and get ready for when the games really slow down in the playoffs. And it's a pick and roll league. You got to be able to score that basket, or I don't know what Ben's going to do. And that is why Tyrese Maxey is starting. Tyrese Maxey is starting because His assist to turnover ratio is bananas. It's like 3.67, one of the best in the league. He doesn't turn over the ball. And two, Tyrese Maxey is a threat in the pick and roll. He takes the load off of Ben's shoulders offensively, and it just looks better. And I think they're really grooming Shake to be that 6-man type. And I was dead wrong. I thought they were developing Shake to be a starter down the road, and it still could very well happen. But Tyrese has earned it. He's absolutely earned that opportunity.
No, I completely agree with you. And I mean, being that how his defense has looked and the upside he has as a ball handler right now, I think that is a very good point. I want to talk about Toby right now. Toby is looking good right now this game. I mean, and I think Chris Coyle says it best. Toby looks confident. He's stepping into his 3-pointers. He's driving in and getting his own. So I think that's a good sign. Because if Ben is missing tonight and isn't looking great on the offensive end, if Toby steps up, that's a big deal.
I think the motivation for Ben is legacy. I just from this is reading the tea leaves as an outsider. I think Ben is so overwhelmed about his legacy. That's why he's worried about the social media videos of him airballing a 3. Like he's so obsessed about that stuff.
Well, here's the thing too with that. That's the first thing Bleacher Report posts. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I'll be right back, guys. By the way, I keep talking about Ben and Tobias.
That was gonna be the second part of my question was how do you think he reacted to seeing that video? Do you think that's something that's going to actually harm him, or do you think he's going to mature past that? And
it's concerning. That is a major concern. It's a major concern. Mark says Ben Simmons is 0 for 2 from 3 feet. Their Sixers are trying to get Ben more opportunities closer to the basket. It is not falling. He just can't get home. That's been the storyline for Ben in the pick and roll all season long. His points per possession in the pick and roll is atrocious. And I think it's like almost night and day. You have a rookie like Tyrese Maxey who is so good at keeping the ball moving and just being relentlessly attacking the paint and thriving in the pick and roll. Amazing first step. Gets whatever he shots with the floater and all that stuff. And then you have Ben Simmons, and you're trying to groom this guy literally for the first time in his career, and it just looks so different. I think Tyrese Maxey.
I completely agree.
Like Tyrese Maxey's just turnover. He doesn't turn over. He's just turned 20 years old, and he doesn't turn over the ball. You know how many times Tyrese Maxey has had 0 turnovers in a game this year? 5 already. It's insane. Like it's just been
what he's doing right now is what we are expecting from Ben, and like what Maxey's doing is what we're expecting from Ben, and what Ben's doing is what we kind of expected from Maxey. It's just like it's kind of frustrating almost because I mean it's nice to see Maxey out there doing this, but at the same time like you'd almost like want Ben not to lose some of those touches from Maxey, but at the same time he doesn't really deserve them right now. I mean Maxey deserves a lot more reps. My biggest concern with Ben, especially when you were saying his downhill play, is when he finishes at the basket, sometimes it just seems like he's just trying to get a foul. Like he's not even looking at the basket. He's just like sometimes just tossing it up there and it doesn't look like he's actually trying to make the basket. And that's what's frustrating. I mean, like you see guys like LeBron and those guys get the calls, but the difference is they're actually looking like they're trying to make the basket. They're not just running into people or and that's something that's frustrating for me. I think that's where a lot of his turnovers come too, is he tries doing that and it doesn't work. And then he starts trying to do his jump passes, as you were saying earlier. And it's just one thing after another. I think he's doing too much. I think he needs to simplify it. I think part of it has to do with social media and him trying to show too much to everybody, that he's kind of not really just playing his game and working on what he needs to work on. So personally, I just think he needs to simplify his own game and really work on what he knows he needs to work on and stop and really, I don't know whether or not he has to block off social media, delete the account, but he needs to figure out something to.
Yeah. Sixers Twitter is horrendous right now. It is horrendous.
Yeah, it's hard. It's real quick, just because I first thing I heard was Sixers Twitter being horrendous. It is hard. Like, I don't like Twitter per se, but I use it because that is the best way we can get out to you guys, the fans. But it is really hard to look at right now. I've had a hard time going on Twitter this past week just because of all the slander about the team and how we need to trade somebody, we need to do this. And I think real quick, what everyone needs to do is just take a breath. Like, if you need to right now, take a breath with me. Just Woosah. Like, guys, listen. It's the beginning of the season, on a short training camp, on a short preseason. We have a brand new team, brand new coach, brand new GM, brand new offense, brand new defense. It's a completely new team. Now, yes, we don't like what Ben Simmons is doing right now, and it's frustrating because of what he has shown and the potential that he does have. But that's just what it is right now, and we have to give the offense time to gel. We have to give him time to gel too. We've said it countless times. This is his first time running an offense where a pick and roll is used a lot, especially for him, being that he hasn't had to use that. So it's like, I think we just need to take our time a little bit and understand that it takes time for teams to gel, especially offenses. So let's give Ben a break for at least the beginning of the season.
Well,
right?
Joelle there.
What's up?
Nice little 3 by Joelle there. I could live with Ben's 13 points a game with that defense and his passing. It really just boils down to his turnovers. Ben Simmons has the worst turnover percentage in the NBA at 27%. The second worst is 22.7%. So that can't happen.
Yeah, and I think, another thing with Ben that a lot of people want is not even just the shooting. Like, he could be scoring the 15 to 18, potentially 20 points a game if he could just master his craft from the free throw line. That's another big thing. I don't even care about the corner threes, like you were saying. Like, yeah, I would love to see him develop that now, but I understand that takes time, and that's not his number one goal. And I'd much rather him master his free throws.
Did you see that drive by Joelle? Celtics have zero answer for Joel Embiid right now. Woo!
Do you guys think Joel spends too much time still out in the perimeter on offense?
Good question.
Here's the thing.
I still think sometimes it's overused. He's overused out there.
Here's the thing is he has been shooting at a better like percentage recently from 3. I believe I'm pretty sure he's hovering around that 35 to 40% range, which usually he's a little bit lower than that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. I'm sure you're looking at the numbers right now.
I'm trying to find the touches per game.
Gotcha.
But when the Sixers give Joel Embiid, like, I think 15 or more post touches per game, the Sixers are like they win every game. They win every game. So yeah, the name of the game should be getting Joel better spots. And I've really liked the inside out game that we've seen when Steph Curry is in the game and stuff. And it's really hard to grade this Sixers team because of COVID. Like, it's the back-to-backs, guys missing, the entire chemistry being thrown out the window, and guys playing new roles. And it's been kind of really difficult to really kind of get a full measure of what we know. But I need Brock and Tiago for this one because I don't know what the numbers say yet. I can look them up when I'm done talking. But I would say his post touches are probably right where they're at, where they've been. So I think he's okay. I'm pretty sure the touches on the perimeter are definitely down.
Yeah, they're definitely down from last year. I mean, something you saw a majority of the time last year is Joelle starting with the ball at the top of the key, or behind the 3-point line with dribble handoffs. This year, you're seeing a little bit more of him setting up in the post first and letting somebody else initiate it to him. But I think that has to do with, one, Tyrese Maxey coming in the lineup and showing that he's a good ball handler, but two, Shake Milton as well. Doc Rivers' offenses you're seeing are a lot more guard oriented than what Brett Brown's were when it comes to who's first initiating the ball. So I think that his touches definitely have been down from the perimeter. I mean, Chris Dunn says not Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid's at 39% from 3. I don't know why he says don't want that because I think that's insanely good for a big man. If your big is shooting 39% from 3, that's there's not a lot of bigs in the league that can do that. I think you probably have Jokic, who's maybe close to that, and Cat. But other than that, I don't know any other bigs that are shooting that well.
All right, I got it. Here we go. All right. Embiid had 9.8 post-ups per game last season. This year, he's both, again, first in the league at 12.3. So Joel Embiid is getting more touches in the paint. So I think that's a great thing.
And something that Doc has been saying in his interviews, or at least that he did say in his interviews, like I believe it was last week or maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, I'm not sure. But he was saying how one thing that he wants to try to do is get Joel deeper in the post earlier in the shot clock rather than him having to work his way down there. Oh, by the way, Furkan Korkmaz.
Yeah, so what do we got here? We got Shake, Furkan, Joel, Matisse, and Toby.
Oh, by the way, Ian Acosta's heading out. See you, Ian. Yeah, Furkan is in the game. It seems like they've had Toby on Jaylen Brown a lot so far this game.
Joelle, baby. All cotton for Joelle. Man, Joelle and Toby. It's really been the Joelle and Toby show. 22 points from Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris so far. 9 of 13 from the floor in 18 minutes. These two are dominating.
Hell yeah, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
I know a lot of people have been saying over the past couple years, their struggles with Tobias, especially with playoffs, and saying how he's more of a regular season Tobias. But to me, especially this season, like I get the notion that he plays a lot better during regular season, not much of a playoff guy. But this season, it just seems like his mindset and what he wants going forward for this team and for himself is just totally changed. Like he seems on a different level compared to previous seasons. Whether it's the regular season or not, I still see more life in him, more fight. Is how I would put it.
So what you're saying?
See more of an opportunity.
I think there's a few things that attribute to what you're saying. I think one of them is the difference in offense that Doc Rivers runs, where it comes to
for sure.
The where he's getting his touches. But I think the biggest thing is the fact that he doesn't have to be relied upon to be the best 3-point shooter on this team. When he was on the team last year, and even the year before that, the year before that he had JJ, so he wasn't as pressured to be that best 3-point shooter. But last year, where a lot of think about what our starting lineup was. Our starting lineup was Ben Simmons, Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, Al Horford for most of the year, and then Joel. And none of those guys shoot even over 40% besides Tobias, and like he did when he was with the Clippers for I think he did it for 2 or 3 years while he's with them. So I think the biggest thing is one is where he's shooting, but two, the difference in personnel he has on the team with him. When you got guys like Seth Curry, Danny Green, Furkan Korkmaz, Shake Milton, to take that pressure of being the number 1 3-point shooter, it makes his game a little bit easier, I think, and takes less pressure off him. So I think that has to do with Tobias Harris and why he looks different this year.
Yeah, and I love it. My biggest thing, I just love the consistency. I mean, after the first 2 games, he might have had 1 or 2 down games since. The only one I can really remember since the first 2 games was the last one against we played last on Sunday, or no, was against Memphis, I believe.
Yeah. And it seemed to be a struggle for the Sixers whenever Joel is out.
Yeah.
We need to think is that game. Like the one thing that concerned me with that game against Memphis, and Dibes, I don't know if you agree with this, but something that concerns me is because there's obviously going to be stints where Joel is out, whether it's next year, year after that, or this year, because a lot of our starting lineup is going to be under contract for the next 3 years. Does it concern you at all that still that we're struggling when Joel is off the court to win games?
This year, I can't use the stats this year right now because it's really hard to really gauge that. Yeah, that's a major concern. I mean, you could say the same thing about Ben, though. When the Sixers don't have Ben Simmons, look at their defense. They got swept by the Celtics last year. They're a completely different team. So it's not just Joel. That team last year was completely dysfunctional. This year, we're seeing a team that knows its role on offense and defense. I think when fully healthy, this is a completely efficient monster. Especially, they were nearly top 10 in the league offensively and defensive efficiency. Like they were lights out. Guys were getting wide open shots, even though they were missing early on in the season. They started to hit, and you really saw this team start to put it together. I would like to kind of see what, like when Joel's not playing, like they're still missing guys as well. So it's not a full roster. Guys are playing well beyond their role, what it should have been at the start of the year. It's just a weird year. So I don't know. I'm not looking at Brett Brown and Doc Rivers. I got to see more of a sample size with Doc Rivers, especially when this team's healthy.
Yeah, no, and I think that's fair. I definitely understand that. Corey, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. I mean, I think just based off of the feelings from previous years is obviously concerning, but like I was saying, you don't want to compare the coaching between Brett Brown and Doc Rivers. It's early on, a bunch of new guys, like you were saying, brand new staff, and they're still trying to gel together. And the fact that even though Joelle is out and we are losing Essence concerning, but with him being out, we're still going through COVID, and we're still going through a lot of other things. Why people are trying to still gain their chemistry. So at the same time, I think over time, as the season goes on, we get our guys healthy back together. I think Doc will be able to fix some of these issues going on with Joel when he's not in, and even with Ben. I'm sure there'll be a game in here where Ben's not going to play and Joel will. So I think down the line he'll be able to fix those issues. But right now, I think they're still worried about still trying to get everybody to gel together. That it's kind of inevitable to really control what's going on with that. It's kind of it's concerning, but at the same time you got to understand the situation.
Yeah, so let's move on from that and let's talk about this for a second. I almost threw up when I saw Furkan enter before I could. So Dibes, what's your opinion on Furkan Korkmaz and Isaiah Joe? I know Isaiah, like you're a big young guy, and these guys are both young. I mean, obviously Furkan's been in the league for a few years now, but he's still young. He's only 22 years old. So who do you think deserves those minutes when we're playing?
I think they're Korkmaz's until he loses it and stops shooting well, because Isaiah Joe really stepped up in January. During that time, he played nearly 24 minutes a game, 38.5% from three, 38% from three in the catch and shoot. Isaiah Joe was really good. The only thing about Isaiah Joe is that he just needs to build strength. He needs to build leg strength because he's not there yet, obviously. I know Furkan's still young, but he's been in the league for a couple years. He's just a more reliable floor spacer and has that chance to kind of hit a few threes back to back to back. And there's chemistry things there too. But overall, I'm not gonna lie, I would go Isaiah Joe because I love watching guys like that play, and I'm just a little biased.
Yeah, how about you, Corey? What's your opinion of Isaiah Joe? And do you think he should be playing over Furkan?
Even if it's not Furkan, even if you want to give more minutes to guys like Mike Scott, Tyrese Maxey, Shake Milton, even if you want to give guys like Tony Bradley more minutes, anybody but Furkan for me. Not even, aside from the shoes he wears, and I can't stand those game in and game out. Honestly, I just haven't really seen much development besides him just getting more confidence in what he does, which is go out there and try to create shots like JJ did, but fail 90% of the time, which is what it seems like for me watching him play. So at this point, I would definitely like to see Isaiah Joe get more minutes. I think he's been performing well. I think his biggest thing is just getting bigger. Isaiah Joe just putting on some weight and defensively just getting bigger. I think his offense is there. I think over time, developing in the NBA, he'll become more consistent. So I like Isaiah Joe.
Isaiah Joe's points per possession in the pick and roll as a scorer are absolutely hilarious. He leads the team. It's a very small sample size, but he's in the 99th percentile as a scorer in the pick and roll, which is really, really funny. Because you saw Furkan in that role early on this season. We were kind of questioning, like, why is Doc running the offense through Korkmaz so much? Kork went out. Isaiah Joe got some opportunities. he really thrived. I've been so blown away at Isaiah Joe when he can like really space the floor like that. He's got a real future in the league.
So this was an interesting question, and I don't know how much we've talked about it on TPL yet, but why did we cut Dakota Mathias?
Isaiah Joe?
I think it was just the fact of getting people back.
Yeah, getting people back. I mean, what are people upset? Are you upset, Kevin, that Mathias isn't on the? I mean, he did okay doing his job in the catch and shoot. He was like 40%, which is good.
Yeah, he was doing well.
But again, Korkmaz makes what peanuts, like $2 million a year. So you kind of already have that. You already have a guy that is, a low cost shooter, 40% shooter, but is a mismatch on defense. So
Steven said Dakota may have gotten an overseas offer, and we are healthy. So I don't know.
Mathias is never going to stay on the team the whole year, not unless he's going to be down in the be an elite player. But
yeah.
Steven, go look at Chris Kumaji's numbers with the Blue Coats last year.
I'll be right back, guys.
One of the most hilarious analytics numbers you'll ever see. It is really, really funny because he kind of had the same thing. He didn't play that many minutes, but his like per 36 numbers were hilarious. Go check it out. Chris Kumaji last season. I wonder where he is this year. I haven't heard his name.
I feel like, is he overseas?
I don't know, but
I feel like he is.
I think he left the Sixers.
No, he's definitely not on the Sixers anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's overseas somewhere.
Man, he was fun to watch.
I agree. This is a very interesting comment because it's something we've talked about a lot, but what exactly is Prison Mike's role on this team anymore? Toby's fills in?
Yeah, you're right. It was overseas. How about that? He won Defensive Player of the Year last year. Landed with Movistar Estudiantes on a 3-year deal. Good for him, man. That's great. All right, sorry. What did you
say? You're good. No, Steven's comment says, what exactly is Prison Mike's role in this team anymore? So I think we should – I'm interested in that. What is his role in this team?
Who the hell knows, man? That is the biggest need for the Sixers, I think, in a trade. They still need a guard that can defend the pick and roll, but I would love to get some kind of like young stretch forward to develop for the Sixers moving forward. I'm not a Mike Scott fan. I never got it. I thought he kind of flipped the switch during the preseason. He looked more confident. The stroke was back. He wasn't hesitating. He was getting his shots. But really, ever since the season started, he just went back to 2019 Mike. So I'm out on Mike Scott. If they can find an upgrade there, that is a huge priority for the Sixers. Yeah, Mark says floor spacer, but what is he shooting right now? I don't even know. So, Mike Scott is definitely a tangible piece to be moved during the trade deadline. I'm not a Mike Scott fan.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Scott, and I kind of agree. I'm no longer really riding that Mike Scott train. I definitely was at points when we first got him, when he was doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be that guy who plays gritty defense and can hit open threes at that 4 spot. And he just, with Brett Brown's offense in his first year with the Sixers, he was doing really well at that job, at least towards the end of the season, and especially in the playoffs. And then he just fell off. And it was unfortunate because it looked like he was going to be a really big and good piece for this team, and then it kind of dwindled. So I kind of feel like that time is over, and it sucks just because I don't know.
Yeah, you see that play? See that play of Dwight Howard stop getting that block there? They haven't had a guy that can defend the pick and roll like that, like Dwight Howard, in a long time. That is major. Shake Milton for 3 again. Get some. Shake.
I'm pretty sure Shake may have stepped out about. May have pulled a Furcon. Did
he really?
I think he pulled a Furcon.
Damn. I thought he had only 2 turnovers from the Sixers so far. You look at the box score. What did I talk about before the game started? When the Sixers lose, their starting lineup has an infinite Thanos billion amount of of turnovers in that starting lineup. Right now, they only have one. So they're playing much more controlled today. Way better than that Memphis game, which was brutal to watch.
Tobias, or sorry, not Tobias. Matisse Thybulle seems to be playing pretty good defense this game. I mean, mind you, that's what he's good at, but he's playing pretty well right now. I mean, he just got a steal off of an errant pass from the Celtics earlier, and he played pretty good contested defense on Kemba as well.
You have
interesting about. Sorry, what's up?
I was about to say I bet kind of like that shot. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You have a three-headed monster right now between Toby, Shake, and Joelle Embiid. Like this is they're getting their shots pretty well.
Oh Jesus.
Man, some of these charging calls this year too, like they're really being lenient with them moving. I see a lot of defenders not like staying planted and slowly moving to get the call, and the refs are just missing it. That's one big thing I noticed this year too.
Sorry, I'm really focused right now. No, Kemba is really trying to draw contact right now. It looks like on Matisse.
Yeah. He did earlier with Maxey too.
By the way, Corey, just to let you know, Dibes is like 30 seconds behind us because he's on a stream. So just don't be careful about doing a
Dibes. I'm typically on a stream too, and Justin's the one that always ruins it for me. Oh, did you see that? Text me. Did you see that? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I've ruined it for Dibes a few times. So we have to be careful about the play-by-play analysis at times.
Yeah, come fourth quarter, like I'm gonna be muting everyone here. So, Chris Dunn says Seth is the pure shooter and piece of the team has been waiting for. Dude, you couldn't be more right. You could not be more right. Seth is everything for this team moving forward. I know James Harden and Kevin Durant look really nice on paper, but give me Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid with a pure floor spacer like Seth and Danny Green. I think that has true potential.
And with Tobias in there too.
Yep. There's something to be said about true chemistry, and I saw it. I definitely saw it. Wide open looks all the time.
Yeah. We're undefeated, right, as a starting crew still. I mean, we haven't lost as a starting crew yet. And, like, Steph, that man does not miss when he's open. And one thing I like this year that I've noticed that that was questioning a little bit was more or less his shot creating ability to be consistent. I know he could shoot the three very well, especially on the catch and shoot, but in terms of being more like his brother and creating his own shots and actually being consistent and taking that extra step in his career, because he was always more of a role player, in my opinion. And this is a big opportunity for him, and honestly, I think he's taking a full advantage of it, and it's working. And it was what we've been missing, like Dodge was saying. We've been missing this since JJ.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we've been talking about with Seth Curry is and a lot of Sixers fans will compare Seth to JJ, and we've been trying to beat into the Sixers fans' head that JJ and Seth are just not even close to the same player when it comes to the way they score and the differences of things. Like, okay, sure, yeah, both of them may run dribble handoff sometimes, but something that JJ has that Seth does not have is that gravity, his body gravity, and the speed he has running around screens. But something Seth has that's better than JJ is just, honestly, I would say the depth of his shots. I think Seth can drain it from damn near anywhere on the court. And also, Seth is just all around a better catch and shoot shooter than JJ is and just gets his shots off in different ways. Something you also notice about Seth is he can score off the dribble more than JJ can. He does have a bit of a handle on him, and he can also score around the rim. He's got a nice floater game. He's able to make people play to his speed. So, like, Corey? Because I kind of know Dibes' opinion on this, but Corey, what is your thoughts on the comparison between Seth Curry and JJ Redick?
Yeah, I mean, when I was saying it earlier, I definitely would agree that they're not exactly the same type of shooter. I think it'd be a little far-fetched to say so, just considering JJ's primary game was, you're right, the handoffs, and just coming off those screens and taking the fadeaways and just kind of shooting it right away. Curry, more or less, is a little bit more patient, kind of sees his shot before he takes it, even if it's coming off the screen or the handoff. I think more or less for me is just the fact that we've been missing the pure shooting. And whether it be like JJ or be like Seth, to me, we just need the pure scoring. And I definitely like. I'm more confident with Seth, I should say, than JJ. JJ just took too much wild things that it looks pretty, but Seth just makes it look normal and good. And that's something that we've been missing, is a normal shooter just putting up the routine shots, and you know it's going to go in, especially when he's wide open.
I like your comparison. It's like normal and good. I like
normal and pretty. Like, like JJ, he makes everything look pretty, but at the same time, you see him almost catch and shoots, and you're like, he'll brick it. And you're just like, how do you make the fadeaway from in the corner 3 behind the basket with somebody in your face, but you get a catch and shoot, and it looks like you didn't know what you were doing. And for me, Seth's the guy that, no matter what the shot is, he's going to take a good shot. And you got at least a 50-50 chance with him shooting. So,
there's an infinite amount of things that Seth has been impressive this year. But one of the things that I low-key love is that Seth is much better than I expected at putting the ball on the floor. And we've seen that during, clutch moments in the fourth quarter where Seth has that ability not only to space the floor, but can put the ball on the floor and get a layup. And JJ Redick do that. And there are different examples of that we've seen throughout this season. Jamonte says, why does Kemba go off every single time against us? It pisses me off. This is just another one of those guys that just kills the Sixers constantly. Where is he at now? He's got 12 points in 9 minutes. It's 4 for 5 from 3, although I think 4 of those were in the first quarter.
If I'm honest with everybody too watching right now, it's not like just us. A guy like Kemba is very good at getting people to foul him and very good at getting to the line, and he's a good player. If he goes off for 40 tonight, goes off for 50, then we can talk about how the Sixers have a harder time guarding him than usual on other teams. But he's just good at getting contact on people. And when you're playing against a very aggressive defensive team, it's just that's gonna happen. Honestly, especially when you got guys like Matisse Thybulle, Ben Simmons, and Tyrese Maxey, all like very aggressive defenders. So it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, Sixers Nation should just at this point understand that any good, competent guard like Kemba, Beal, those kind of guys, Booker, anytime we go up against those guys, their guards always kill us. And it's just always how it's been. I've always noticed too this year I've noticed especially seems like as if Sixers are trying to take away everybody else and just kind of letting the main guy try to carry the team. I feel like they're trying to take away everybody else and make one guy prove that he can win the game.
That's what they did. That's definitely what the Sixers did against Miami.
Yeah.
They were trying to it seemed like they were trying to let Tyler Hero beat them, and obviously he didn't. Let's get into some comments though. So Marquis says, "Let's go, JoJo." Thunder Dude says we should be up right now, but defense fell off a bit. I think it's a combination of defense maybe falling off a bit, but it's honestly just Kemba's hot right now. Kemba's just going. Kemba's 5 for 6 from 3 with 15 points right now, and that's obviously not normal.
And honestly, he's just pulling the shots right in front of people's face, which is
that's good defense.
That's the game. Yeah. That's what's scary about the rest of the game is the fact that he's hitting those kind of shots. We're not even just giving him space. He's just being Kemba. I'm sure Connor's sitting on his couch loving it right now.
Yeah, probably. Connor's definitely loving it. By the way, Connor said that he'd be interested in joining us for halftime, so we may be able to get him on here during the halftime. But
Oh,
I just saw the Celtics took the lead now. He wants to talk. Nah.
All right, we do have halftime entertainment again tonight.
oh, we do.
We do again.
Hey. Corey doesn't know about the halftime entertainment, and we're not going to tell him either. We're going to make him wait.
Yep,
We're going to make him wait.
it's the same as last time.
Oh boy.
I got you. But I will say, it is a good sign, I think, for the Sixers that they're only down by what is going to be probably – it's the score right now is 47-43, but Kemba's got another free throw going. So it'll probably be 48-43. But I think it's good that the Sixers are still in this game with Kemba being this hot right now. So
Pretty crazy.
I think ultimately it could be okay.
Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid have 25 points. Danny Green, Ben Simmons, and Maxey have a combined 4 points.
Wow.
What the hell?
Well, that's also a good sign then. I mean, we're in this game and most of our players don't even have points. So
Exactly what we weren't hoping for.
yeah. I don't know. It kind of confuses me. Like Ben Simmons' game this year kind of confuses me. Like I expected him to be able to be more aggressive going into the basket and like scoring more this year because he has all those shooters around him to create more space, and that just isn't happening, and it's kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, Justin, you asked me what could lead to a Boston Celtics win tonight. It was bench scoring. Right now, the Celtics bench is outscoring the Sixers 16-14 so far in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big deal. And I think a lot of it's coming from the fouling that we are the line. Like, let me look at the box real quick. I got to make sure I'm not just talking out my ass right now. 1 second. I want to see how many free throws they've gotten so far
Their
this game.
percentages too. They're 88% right now.
Yeah.
We're in the 70s.
So honestly, we're looking good on the turnovers right now. We have 8 fouls, and they have 8 free throws. So, I mean, even then, that's not that many. I think ultimately it's the three-pointers. They're 9 for 16 on three-pointers right now. I think that's really the biggest thing for us right now.
I think at halftime, a big change they have to make within their pick and roll would honestly be they got to start having Joelle crash more. I think they're doing too much pick and pops, and I think they need Joelle to roll a little bit more and put pressure at the basket and kind of actually get some of the other shooters open around at the perimeter. And I don't know what that means for Ben, but that's another issue I have with their pick and roll game is Ben is struggling so much inside, and the defenses are figuring him out, and he won't shoot. So they just know Joel's gonna pop. And if not, he comes inside, it creates a cluster, and that's what worries me, that I feel like they got to be able to figure something out with Joelle rolling more often than popping.
So, the Celtics will live with Joel Embiid shooting threes all game long.
Yep.
All game long. If that's if you see Joel shooting like 10 attempts from 3, you got major problems.
Yeah, and that's what they need to make that change at half.
Yeah,
that's what Seth Curry does for you, though. That's exactly what Seth Curry does.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I saw a play earlier in the game where Joelle was on the far side of the court, down in the post, and he in the post passes out to Furkan. Furkan passes it to I think it was Maxey, and then they get an open look for Shake on the other corner. So, I think that's the big difference there is when you have Seth Curry and Shake Milton out on the floor together, it can create a little bit more space for him and makes it a little bit harder for teams to double him because we can punish them from 3 a lot more than we can when Seth is off the court. Chris Dunn says, get fouls, make your free throws, win at the line. How you win with Joel Embiid.
Amen.
Yeah, that's real. That really is it. Debra says these refs are terrible.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, Corey. Go ahead.
Oh,
I was actually about to ask if somebody could clarify this for me. Did it say that Joel only has 3 boards right now? I think that's what I just saw. I mean, I can check the box score. I know somebody already had it up,
I'm
but
looking.
that's another issue too.
He's
right
got
there.
3
6
rebounds.
of 8 from the he's 6 of 8 field goal percentage. I mean, which is great, but earlier I forget who said it, but that's another big thing we needed was the out rebound the Celtics. I think it might have been.
I mean, we
Connor
are
said
out
that
rebounding
they
them
have
right
a lot of
now.
big men. Yeah,
We
but
are
I mean, with Joelle too, I think a lot of his second chance points. I think he needs to try to be a little more aggressive with that because 3 boards at halftime wouldn't be ideal. Especially
No, I mean, I think that's definitely true. I will say, when you have guys like Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons on the team as well that attribute to a lot of boards, like Dwight Howard as well has 7 rebounds. Tobias Harris, where is he at? Tobias Harris has 2 himself. Danny Green has 2. Maxey has 1. Ben Simmons has 5. So like the rebounds just are coming in different places right now. I mean, altogether, I'm not sure exactly what the Sixers are averaging with rebounds per game. I don't know. Dad, do you have that number?
I'm sorry. What?
Do you know how many rebounds per game the Sixers are averaging? I know they're typically around like the 50 to 55 mark, and I mean right now they're at 22 with 8 offensive rebounds. So I don't know what. Yeah. So I mean, realistically,
fourth best at 56.4 in the NBA. Fourth best.
Yeah, so I mean, they're not really doing that poorly on rebounds. I think it's more about shot making and just stopping Boston from scoring more. I mean, realistically, Boston's shooting 56% from 3 right now, and obviously that is not a normality for them, and not a normality for teams against the Sixers either. So that I think it's just right now the Boston's hot, and we just need to start making some more shots. Dibs, what do you think is attributing to the Sixers being down right now?
Celtics are hitting shots. They're hitting shots. I mean, Daniel Tice, 11 points in 11 minutes. Jeff Teague gets 5 points. The Sixers starting lineup only has, 2 turnovers.
And 3 of them 4.
So it's a weird game so far. It really boils down to the Celtics shooting 9 of 16 from 3, shooting 50% from the line, and the Sixers aren't getting anything from Danny Green, Ben Simmons, or Tyrese Maxey. They're just they I guess they just need to, I don't know, attack more. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why Maxey's not really clicking tonight. Only 2 field goals in 12 minutes. That's not a Tyrese Maxey box score right there. That's very, very odd for Tyrese Maxey. I wonder who's guarding him. Is that probably Smart?
Yeah, I was about to say. Do you think? I was going to say.
I saw Smart on a Green.
No, it was Kemba was defending Maxey, right?
Yeah. I think so. At points. I think part of that has to do with just teams maybe guarding him better. Honestly, like that could attribute to it. Also, you have seen Tobias Harris being pretty aggressive today, and a lot of times when Maxey was having his big games and going off was when Toby was not playing. And obviously same with Ben and Joelle. So I just think that now since they're all back, it's a little bit harder for him to find shots all the time, especially when Toby was really hot in the first half. So I think that may attribute to that. Jamonte says, if Joelle wasn't on the team and drew fouls this often, I would smash my head in. I think that's like so true though, because you really think about guys like James Harden, guys like Kemba, Trae Young, Kyle Lowry, guys who are like really good about drawing fouls. Those kind of players piss people off no matter what fan base you're from, but you love them if they're on your team. And I think that's like something people constantly talk about is James Harden and how like the way he plays basketball like annoys everybody. But it's like if James Harden was on your team and was doing that, you'd be sitting there like, yes, Yes, more fouls, more points. Just like Joel Embiid. So I completely agree, though, Jamonte. People are saying Ben Simmons finally is playing aggressive. What do you guys think about that? Have you seen a noticeable difference since he's been back on the court right now?
I wouldn't personally say like too much noticeable. I mean, you could definitely see he's starting to be a little more aggressive than he was earlier in the game, but I think that's what he's doing right now is kind of what I was hoping to expect throughout the entire game. I think it's a little. I mean, I think it's great that you're starting to see it now. Hopefully, he'll keep it going through the second half. But he's definitely going to have to start knocking down some of the ones, especially when he gets fouled on them. Because some of them, like Dodge was saying earlier, he's not getting guarded by super tall people, and he's got to take advantage of that, especially when he does draw the fouls. He's got to be able to knock some of those down. But other than that, I've noticed a big difference with him being aggressive, taking better shots too. I just see him getting more open drives, but
Yeah,
I think
I
he needs
missed
to
the
keep it going
last
for the second half.
I missed the last one, so I'm not sure.
No, I got you. Excuse me. No, I mean, he's something that I've noticed with Ben Simmons is in the beginning of the game, he's more aggressive. So like in the first like few this is a light playoff game. It will get much harder. Yeah. Something you notice with Ben is in the beginning of the game, like maybe like the first like 3 possessions, he seems to be very aggressive, but he's just missing them right now. And that's something I've noticed a lot. So, and that's kind of confusing to me. So like, I don't know what's attributing that because he'll get a good look at the rim and he'll just miss it.
Yeah, his touch around the rim, that has been one of the big lack of touch around the rim has been one of the biggest storylines. How many times did we see like Ben take it to the basket on the left side, but have to completely adjust his body and make a right-handed layup? Like he's just in a funk. He's just in a complete funk when it comes to scoring the basketball around the basket. His stats have to be horrendous.
Yeah.
The basket. I mean, we saw it tonight. He had 2 chances within 3 feet and blew both.
Which is why I'm saying it's so confusing because it's like that's like really the only offensive part of his game that he has right now, and being that like that's something he's usually very consistent on, it's just hard to understand what's the big difference in that. Something I want to say though, and I just noticed this: does Joelle look like very slimmed down, or am I crazy?
I thought he's looked good all year.
No,
Yeah,
I agree with that, but like it's something I'm noticing right now even more. Like he looks like noticeably lighter, like especially around like the arms. Like
I think he definitely looks a little bit more defined than he has in the past. So yeah, it looks like he's definitely slimmed. But that was a big thing. He's been saying that for the past couple of years. That, he works on it, but I think he might have actually cut out the Chick-fil-A shakes and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that helped. But either way, no, it's great. It's great to see him look in better shape for sure. But all I could say is my take on him potentially pulling up 40, or what was it, 30? Did I say 30? Is looking good.
Yeah. Jamonte asked, he said, what's Joel's career high? I want to say it's like, isn't it like 39 or something like that? Like 40 something?
I think 50.
Yeah, I thought he had in the 50s.
Yeah, 50s?
Yeah, against LA a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Damn, I didn't realize.
Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dunder Dude says 47 or 49.
49.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking, not 39, because 39 is definitely low.
No, he definitely had 52 against LA.
Okay.
No, yeah, it is 52. It wasn't. No, wait. Let's see.
As you're looking for that, Corey, Steven says, considering JoJo needs to get down to 255, yes. Does JoJo, like, how heavy is Joe? What was his official weigh-in today?
Wow, it was 46.
46? Okay. What do you think JoJo's weight is right now? Because I know like last year we were saying he looks like he's about like 280. And so it's like Is he around that? Like he's no ways. He's not 255. I can tell you that right now. There's no way. I would say he's probably like 270, 260, but like Steven says he thinks he needs to get down to 255. Do you think he's capable of doing that and still being like that dominant post player that he is?
I don't think he needs to. I think he's fine where he's at. I just think he needs to just keep perfecting his craft and staying consistent with what he's doing. Obviously, to stay in shape, and I don't think he really needs to lose weight. I think he's just finally starting to take control of it. So I think he's just gonna. I think if he just keeps working out and keeping the weight he's at now, it'll just even look better next year. But yeah, I don't think he needs to drop any more weight at that height. Maybe 5 pounds, but nothing crazy.
Gotcha. Dibs, do you have any opinion on that?
No, I've said it many times. I think this is the closest we've seen from rookie Joelle. He looks great running the floor. I definitely, in terms of like defensive impact, at least from the eye, it looks like he's just having a huge impact on the defensive end, like he did his rookie year. I've been blown away at his active level defensively. So it's been great, and I think if he can maintain that weight, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I definitely agree with that.
I saw with by the way, I searched it on Google. It said Joel Embiid scored a career 49 points and grabbed 14 rebounds against Atlanta Hawks on February 24th.
Is that last year?
2020. Yeah, 2020, February 24th, when we beat the Atlanta Hawks 129 to 112.
I think I remember
Monday
that
night.
game.
Yeah,
that was the game where
I knew he had more than
John Collins.
Yeah,
he had one of his best dunks in that game.
No, I remember because he literally like ran right at the rim and just went right up at him.
Yeah.
I think this is an interesting comment from Marquise. So he says Ben shooting free throws, but I'm wondering why he won't take the same approach to shooting mid-range jumpers.
He should not be concerned about anybody shooting mid-range jumpers ever. It is the least effective shot in the NBA. No, it's all about threes and getting buckets at the rim. Period.
Yeah. How about you, Corey? What's your thought? You're muted.
Sorry, could you ask your question one more time?
What is your with the comment right there on Ben Simmons? What are your thoughts on his free throws being up? Do you think he should be focused on getting his mid-range game better?
No, I mean I still think now I'm gonna hold by my statement. I don't think he really needs to be able to shoot the three perfect or mid-range perfect. I think if you can just learn to shoot the free throw first, it'll develop your mid-range game itself because you know it's not like you're taking a shot right underneath the basket, learning how to take a free throw. A free throw is still technically a mid-range shot, except nobody's covering you. So I think if he could perfect that shot, I think it'll help him develop his mid-range and then eventually expand to a three. But at this point, I think he just needs to focus on taking the range of a free throw. And if he can knock down that shot, I think he'll be okay for right now, at least.
Gotcha. And Jamonte said that it's not that game, not the one that we were just talking about. So he said it's the game when Atlanta came here. So I guess we were wrong about that. And Steven says Jamonte is correct. So we got two people saying Jamonte is correct. I mean, the Sixers right now are in a drought right now, apparently. For the past 5 minutes, they have not scored. So
look at the Sixers with the thing trying to like pump up the crowd. What is going on right now?
I don't know, man. Looks like we're about to get into halftime soon. We got about 15 seconds on my screen left, or now 10.
Yeah.
Celtics had the ball at the end of the shot clock, and Marcus Smart is the man. We got 5 seconds left. Tobias bringing the ball up. Okay.
Good.
Tobias is pissed. He is not happy. He definitely thought he had some contact right there.
Marcus Smart.
Sorry, real quick. I just read Tobias Harris' lips right there. He walking back to the bench. He said, "God damn." He's definitely not happy that he's not getting foul calls on for him.
Yeah. All right, Sixers are trailing the Celtics 61-58 at halftime. We are going to get ready for our halftime entertainment, which is Name That Sixer. So get ready, guys. We're going to get that started. You look at the box score. 35 points from Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid here in the first half. 12 of 20 from the floor. It's really been the Toby and Joelle show from the starting lineup. You look at the bench. Shake Milton has looked great. A goose egg from Furkan Korkmaz, a goose egg from Matisse Thybulle, 15 points from the Sixers bench, 20 points from the Celtics bench. That was one of the major advantages the Sixers had going into this game, not just Jason Tatum being out, but the Celtics are a very top-heavy team, and that was an area that the Sixers should have exposed. Right now, they're getting outscored on the bench. And speaking of lousy, disgusting Celtics fans, what's up, Connor?
Yo. Hold on. Okay, I'm back.
So real quick, Ghost TG asked. He said, "Who's winning right now?" Sadly, it is the Celtics who are up 61-58 as Connor flexes his Jaylen Brown jersey. What is happening?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think the Florida podcast is getting started or something.
Oh man, we gotta change that back.
I got it. And we got Jason joining. It's a party.
Hey guys, it's a party. Now it's a party.
What's up, Jason? Connor, if I don't know, Connor, you were on here when Jason was here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. Yes. Oh, dude.
See my cat?
My bad. That was me.
I thought it happened again. I didn't realize it was you.
Hey, I think to that question, I think Seth is probably going to play Friday. I think he returns to practice tomorrow, so he should be back in the lineup, I think, for Friday's game.
Okay.
Gotcha. Jason, real quick, while we have you, Jason, what's your biggest takeaway from the game so far?
I think a couple of things, like, well, the Celtics are converting a lot of and ones, and but I think they're playing Ben Simmons off ball a lot more as a power forward, and I think one of the effects that I'm seeing is Shake Milton looks like he is shooting reluctantly when he doesn't have someone to pass to. I think he has looked for Dwight Howard a couple of times on lobs that weren't there, and he wound up taking a bad shot, sort of a layup falling away from the rim, which is what you don't want. And I think that's part of it. Part of this game plan is to sort of have Shake and Tobias become lead initiators more and have Simmons do it less. I don't know if you guys are seeing that as well.
I've been saying that for a while, that you've seen Ben's usage rate drop. It dropped pretty dramatically over the last stretch of 5-6 games. And when they lose, Ben's usage rate is really high, like 24%. When the Sixers win, it's in that 17% range. That is very obvious.
Yeah, and I think Tobias was doing really well, thriving on ball as an initiator, which he had thrived in that role with the Clippers before with Doc Rivers. So I think we're starting to see more of that, which I think early on that was really a good thing. Shake, I think, is a little more uneven. He's not in attack mode, which I think he's shooting 4 for 9. It's not bad, but he doesn't look as comfortable. So he almost looks like he's in a transition of mindset. This is certainly a winnable game. I don't know. Those are my big thoughts.
What about you, Connor? What's your take on this game so far?
Exactly what I expected from Kemba. I knew he would come back, getting that first game under his belt. He was good. I'm a little disappointed with how some of the bench has been playing for the Celtics. Granted, our bench is our struggle point. We seem to not be able to find points off the bench, but besides Jeff Teague and Peyton Pritchard. But Daniel Tice, having him come off the bench has been awesome because they've been running that 2 big lineup with Thompson and Tice, which just doesn't make sense in the first place because neither of them are really 3-point shooters. I mean, Tice added it a little bit to the game, but I'm glad to see that they're passing fairly well. Besides, a few key turnovers that led to fast break points, but overall, it's been a good game so far, and I'm excited to see how exciting the second half is.
Right.
Yeah, and Vaz says, "Where are you from? Where are you from, Connor?"
Douglasville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boston Celtics fan from
nowhere near Boston.
Reading. Yep. Nope. He's a bandwagoner. He started watching back in those back in the Paul Pierce days, right?
Actually, I didn't even start watching basketball until like 2013.
So I don't know. He says, "Get out." Oh, so right now we're gonna move to our halftime entertainment, as Dives will call it. Called Name That 76er. So I'm
Can
gonna
I
let
go first?
Yeah,
Can I go first?
Yeah, you can go first. I'm gonna let Dives take our host in this because he knows a hell of a lot more than I do. So
All right,
ahead,
guys. This is the part of the game where we have some fun. We're playing Name That Sixer. If you guys know it, write it in the comments section. I guess we'll have Jason go first. I think he's right on it. But who is that? Name that Sixer, Jason.
So I was so horrifically bad last game. I saw Isaiah Cannon and I thought, please let me go first.
It is Isaiah Cannon, Cannonball himself.
Not my favorite style of play, Cannonball. 5'10" hero ball is not my cup of tea, but
Oh, really? Okay.
no. It's not.
We also have Marky215. Get it right. Good job, Marky. All right, let's go on to number 2. Name that Sixer.
I wish I had this one.
Let's go to Corey for this one. Who is that Sixer?
Corey, you're muted, bro. Come on, bro.
Honestly, I can't see the photo that well.
Hit full screen.
Full
You might be able to hit full screen.
There we go. Yeah, and I actually don't know this one. I knew the last one. I didn't know this one, though.
Marky
All right.
215 nailed it.
Let's go to
He said Raja.
Raja Bell is correct. Raja Bell came off the bench for the Sixers back in the day. One of the most – I loved Raja Bell. Really fun to watch. Good job, Marky215.
Yep.
Steven got it right. Well done. Who wants to go next? Justin?
Sure, I'll go next.
The
real question is, am I gonna know who it is?
Yes.
Okay. So actually, I know the face, and since they're sponsored by StubHub, this is in the past three years, correct?
Uh-huh.
Was he one of our centers down in the G League?
He wasn't he might have played some time at center, but he wasn't very tall. How tall? Do you know who this is, Jason?
Yep.
So he's.
I think he's like 6'8", but he did play some center down there.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I cannot for the life of me remember his name, but I know the face.
And we're waiting for the comments down below. This is we're getting some Tony Roten comments by Steven and Nothing But Sixers. Marky215 says, I have no idea who this is. I'll wait one more minute, but this was a guy that had some of the most flashy dunks.
Yeah, definitely. He was one of the keys running that pick and roll with Shake Milton, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Listen, I know. I just cannot remember his name for the life of me right now.
Yeah,
All right.
I was there the night he got hurt, and it was just really, really sad, really bad ankle injury.
Yeah. He was having a great season. Jason, name that Sixer.
It's Cam Oliver, right?
Cam
Yep.
Oliver's
Yep, that's
correct.
exactly who it is. Yep.
Well done, man. Well done. Who's up next? Connor, do you want to play?
I could try. I don't know how good I'll be.
All right, why not? Name that Sixer. This one's
No
kinda
idea.
hard.
No
Yeah.
idea.
This one's hard. I'm not going to make these easy for you guys. It's never going to happen. So,
JB Smooth.
what's that?
Looks like JB Smooth. I didn't know.
Anybody waiting for the comments? Name that Sixer. I'll give you guys a clue. This is definitely in the 90s. Definitely in the 90s. If that
How are
helps.
you going to have 3 people on here that were born in the last year of the 90s and expect us to know these people?
Know your shit, man. Know your shit.
Chris, we got Philly B says Zaire or Zaire. Oh, goodness, I can't. Ryan, Chris Dunn says Ryan Howard. Marky says Speedy Claxton.
Yeah, I saw Shayok.
It's pronounced Shayok. Corey, come on, man. Come on.
Jason, do you know who this is?
He looks familiar, but I don't actually know. I don't have a guess.
Oh, you stumped. Oh, my goodness, guys. We sound the alarm. We have stumped Jason Blevins.
Oh, I was an 0 for last game. So
the correct answer is Sixers legend Doug Overton. Anybody?
Oh yeah.
Nope. No idea.
Oh man, Doug Overton.
I'll have to look him up.
All right, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Here we go. Last one. See if you guys can get one right. Name that Sixer. Who is this guy? Oh, we have Nasty Nizzle. So Doug Overton. Good job, man. Who is this guy? Who wants to? I'll take it. Justin.
Yeah?
No, let's go to Corey. Corey, who is this guy?
I was hoping you were going to stick with Justin on this one. Honestly, not quite sure. Like, I remember the time frame from right around when they were wearing those jerseys, but I can't for the life of me remember. Was he on the team when Isaiah Cannon was on the team?
I think so.
Yeah, his name. I know. Like Justin. I know the face. I just don't the name. No idea.
This guy was actually an opening day starter on the Sixers.
Ooh.
Little fun fact.
Connor, do you know who it is?
Do you think I know who it is?
No, I really don't.
No way.
I will say Philly B's kind of coming at your neck right here. He says Connor can't even name the Celtics.
Believe what you want.
No one's getting this one. This is a processed legend. And Jason, do you know who it is?
I don't.
Dunder Dude says, is that Kanye West?
We have Nasty Nizzle coming in large. It is processed.
I can jump off. What's up?
Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson. I just muted Jason.
We got to listen to that conversation. He's talking to reporters.
The answer is Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson. Thanks for playing, guys. Tune in next week.
Okay, guys, real quick, just while we have some people here, guys, we appreciate you watching. If you are, keep commenting, keep this comment section rolling. If you're not already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It would really help us out. Jesus, Jason. Jason is rocking out over there. If you did not know, Jason Blevins at JBlevinsNBA is our beat reporter for the Painted Lines with the Sixers, and he is in Wells Fargo right now reporting for us. So, what's up, Jason? Jason, how's it looking in there? What were you talking to that guy about just now?
That was Tom Moore, the legend. Tom Moore. He was asking me if this was a welcome to the NBA moment for Tyrese Maxey having to guard Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
So, yep.
And
All
what
right,
do you think about that? Oh, okay. See you, Jason.
I think that's exactly right. This is a welcome to the NBA moment. Maxey's been in the scouting report last couple of games. You see that, once you get in the scouting report, things get a little bit tougher. So, all right, I'll see everyone. All
right, enjoy the game, Jason. We'll see you. So, yeah, if you don't know, that's Jason Blevins. He is legit, and he knows what he's talking about. So, that's Jason. But I think Corey is going to hop off here. So, we appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It was fun.
Yeah, man. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you come back soon. So yeah.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Go Sixers.
Yeah, by the way, where can people find you? Where can people find you?
Corey_Cavalier on Twitter or Instagram. Corey_Cavalier. But yeah, thanks, guys.
All
Go
right.
Celtics, by the way.
Yeah, right.
So Connor, what are your thoughts ultimately on the game so far? I know like Kemba's obviously been going off for you guys. What do you think needs to happen for the Celtics if they're going to take this game home?
Marcus Smart needs to not shoot threes. He has been so inconsistent on his wide open ones, and then he'll hit that fadeaway. But I just would rather see just about anybody on the team shoot a three. They have to figure out how to efficiently double team on Joelle when he's going into the paint, because he's destroying them down low. I guess keep hitting their shots. Celtics can win, but I still feel like it's just the Sixers are going to just beat down and wear out the Celtics to the point where it's going to be a finish with the Sixers win.
You saw it first opening defensive possession. And now we have Ben on Kemba Walker to start the second half. I'm pretty sure Tyrese Maxey was defending Kemba.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Joelle, does that count?
Oh,
Looks like it.
What?
I will say, Connor, something that worries me, that I worry about for the Celtics' sake, is that the Sixers haven't been super efficient, and and you guys are only, I mean, now it's tied, but you guys were only up by a little bit,
Yeah,
and you guys
and
were like
Celtics were
shooting
shooting
lights
so
out.
well.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and exactly. So it's like I feel like that's got to be a bit concerning as a Celtics fan,
Very.
being that y'all are only up by a little bit, and so Sixers weren't playing great, and you guys were playing immaculate.
Yeah, and that boils down to not having Jason Tatum, a guy who's going to go out there and get you 25 points a night.
Yeah, no, and I think that's true. I think right now, if the Celtics have Jason, I think that this game looks a lot different because the Sixers have obviously not started off very well. I do wonder. Sorry, I'm like focusing when the Sixers are on offense. JoJo is the new and one master. I don't think that's new. I think that's been something that he's been consistently good at for a while now, right? Would you agree with me on that one, Dibes?
I don't know what the stats are. I have no idea what that, but I mean, he's always baited people into fouls for the last couple of years, at least.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean is like he's consistently been a guy averaging a lot of free throws and averaging in the top 5 in the league with free throws as well. So I don't think that's something that is necessarily surprising for people.
Sixers back on top, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to get back to watching the game. I'm going to put it on my TV
I got
instead
you,
of watching
bro.
on my phone here.
Well, we appreciate
Thanks
you
for having
hanging
me.
out with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
You where can people find you? Where can people follow you at and see anything you got going on?
You can follow me on Twitter at CJ Spalding, like the basketball 4. CJ Spalding 4.
And here's the great thing: is his last name is actually Spalding. So like, he
sir.
basically, if he ever wants to get sponsored someday, Spalding, he can get sponsored pretty easily. I feel
Yeah, if
like.
anybody works for Spalding, hit me up.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
All right.
But
Peace,
I
guys.
mean, I would
let
see
him
you, buddy. Have a good one.
dude. Ben just
Everybody, that is Connor. He'll probably be joining us every once in a while for Celtics games, just to get some takes on what people on the Celtics side are feeling.
Ben just picked off Kemba and had a massive dunk. That was great.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It was awesome.
Oh, I think they're making a defensive play of the game. Was it Jeff Teague actually?
Was it Jeff Teague? I
I
could be
think
wrong.
it was. Or no, maybe that's. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it was Jeff Teague.
That was great. Another one for Joe. Oh, I thought you got the N1 for Joelle. Joelle's like flailing in these fouls, and they're almost going in. Yeah, it was Jeff Teague. There it is. I just saw the replay.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, tell him. It was Teague. Tell him. Oh, Philly B says, I hate all Boston teams.
Amen, man. Amen. I hate the Celtics so much. Oh, I hate it. I hate the Celtics, the Bruins, Patriots, all of them. All of them.
Yeah. Looks like Tristan Thompson got a technical foul.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Once again, me and Dibes don't have our sound on, so we can't hear what's going on by the commentators, but Tristan is talking, LOL.
Love it.
I mean, I would say I'd be pretty upset if I was Tristan too. He's has to guard Joelle Embiid all night, so I wouldn't be too excited either, especially when they're giving him calls, because that seems to be as well when we win a lot of games, or when the Sixers win a lot of games, because he is. It's when Joelle is just getting all the calls going his way.
Yeah, Joel's definitely in that 40-point territory tonight. That is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Philly B says we're not following him.
Listen, Connor is a great follow on Twitter. He's also hilarious. Connor's one of my boys. I grew up with him, and he is one of the funniest people you ever meet. So he is not a bad follow whatsoever.
Oh.
Tristan, more like Kristen. Haha. Chris, I'm sorry, but that was not the dad joke. That was not a good one. Dunder says, I will destroy his Celtics pride.
Love it.
Oh man. Jeez, guys, get these comments going. I'm trying to. Let's get us some stuff to talk about here.
I know. Ask questions. We
got a 68-68 score on the game right now with 8 minutes left in the game, or 8:10 right now.
It's so funny. I appreciate it, Philly B. I appreciate the love.
Philly B, I think Dives would definitely like that.
Nice little defense by Toby.
Were you surprised? Okay, I actually have a question. Were you surprised at all, Dibes, that coming into the year that Boston didn't try to make any moves to go get a guy like Miles Turner or to sign a guy like Marc Gasol?
Yeah. I think Danny Ainge is a fraud. I think that he's so overrated. What have the Celtics done? Nothing. They were just as much heat as the Sixers take about was the process worth it. Like the Celtics were ahead of them in terms of assets at the same time frame. What have they won? Nothing. Almost N1 by Ben. That would have been nice. The Celtics have done nothing. So I don't know.
Connor agrees. Connor, guy we just had on here, a Boston fan, just said Danny Ainge is all talk.
He's so overrated. Yeah, he's made a few trades and stuff like that, but this is a guy that lives in the past. He lives in the past, and the Celtics at one point had just a treasure trove of assets to build a championship team, and just completely failed.
I would say I feel like it's not even that he just lives in the past. I think he lives in the past and the future. He lives in the past of the past things he's done, but he also lives in the future of the fact that he only gets young assets for his team. Like he doesn't trade away his picks, and he like the Celtics always have this like multitude of young guys coming up, but I mean realistically, I think there's only out of every single draft pick they've had, and they've had like lottery picks. I don't know how many years in a row have they had like multiple lottery picks or multiple first round picks, I should say.
Just as much as the Sixers, I think. But yeah. So.
But that's what I mean almost is it's like they've had that and they've only hit on really like two of them, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And I mean, you could say the same for the Sixers, but the Sixers also don't get as much credit as the Celtics do, and I think that's what we're trying to get at here.
Yeah. All I ever hear about is like when Danny Ainge doesn't make a trade, he leaks it every single time that he was this close to making that trade. It's so like it's almost a laughing stock for Sixers fans. Like a trade happens and Danny Ainge leaks that the Celtics almost made a similar trade, but they said no because for whatever reason. It's a joke.
Yeah, and I mean that we even talked about that before James Harden got officially traded to the Nets. Is like we were like, watch we're either going to get James Harden or the Nets are going to get James Harden, and you're going to see a week later a story about Danny Ainge come out that he almost got James Harden too. And look, believe it or not, that did happen. he comes out and gets reported that the Celtics were in late talks as well on getting James Harden. So I don't know. Yeah. That's the Celtics for you.
Yeah, that Hayward injury was really tough. Really tough.
Yeah.
That sucked. Like, I don't understand they're doing the frosty stuff in the stands during the second free throw attempt. Like, come on, man. I admire the Sixers passion here, but come on.
Do you think that's going to be a thing for the rest of the season? Like, do you think that the what's up?
I don't know. Maybe they're contracted or something, but Joelle is just cooking right there in the paint. Love to see it. Joelle, that's where he should be living, there and getting to the free throw line all day.
Yeah, I'll say Danny Green is looking mighty fine right now. I don't know what his – 1 second. Let me see.
Wait a second. Coyle says we got a frosty last week. Does that still hold true?
Yeah, I told you that the other day. Like that is still a thing, yeah.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
How did I not know that?
I don't know, man. You've been watching every game.
How did I miss that? So who gets the frosty?
Marky215. I wish I could pause, but I cannot. I will try to be better about not spoiling it though. My bad. Real quick. So Embiid right now has 31 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, and he's 9 for 11.
So
he's 9 for 11. He's 1 for 3 from 3, and he's 12 for 14 from the line. I'm looking at everybody else.
So his career high is 49. So
He's got 31 right now.
So could Joelle hit his career high tonight? That would be really, really fun. So Coyle says they send you an email.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that may be if you're subscribed or following a certain thing. I know I have the Sixers app, and I've gotten notifications from that. So
cool. Okay, that's neat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Philly B says Marcus Smart makes you want to fight him. I think that's a lot of guys that are those tough guys in the league. They're just like gritty players who are going at everybody.
Marcus Smart's the definition of guy that like you hate so much, but if he was on your team, you would love every single.
Oh my God! Like if Marcus Smart was on the Sixers, he literally would be the fan favorite.
Yep.
Like he would be that TJ McConnell kind of guy that people just rally around.
Much better, TJ McConnell.
Oh yes, definitely. But I just mean the personality of it and the fandom of him as well. I'll be right back, Chris.
All right. We said Thunder Dude thinks Joelle's going for 50 tonight. He's at 30. Joelle's at 25 points here. I think that's right. So can he get 25 more points? That would be insane. Steven says Maxey is feeling his way. Tough game for Tyrese Maxey. We talked about during halftime. He's 0 for 3 from the floor, 0 points tonight. Again, 0 turnovers. As much as he's struggling offensively, this guy has had 5 games this season with 0 turnovers. His assist to turnover ratio is absolutely ridiculous. He's got 2 assists, 0 turnovers tonight. So, and he's a +7. He's a +7 on the court. So even though the offense is not clicking tonight, clearly the Celtics have a plan in place to kind of limit Tyrese Maxey. He still had 0 turnovers, which is a huge compliment. Jay Monte says the Celtics are staying in this game. Marquise says JoJo is making it look easy. He has 33 points, unless my box score is off. Anyway. Chris Dunn says that TJ McConnell that can actually play. Don't hate on TJ like that, man. Come on. There's no reason to hate on TJ McConnell. That dude played as hard as he could ever play, and I loved watching that guy play. That was fun. I went over his head, Philly B. Maybe you're talking about me. Very likely. They're playing him off ball at times too. And Marcus Smart would have been a fan favorite at Philly for sure. Yeah, so I don't know. I got to rewatch this game. It's hard to talk and watch the game at the same time. From the first glimpse, the thing that you see first is 3 field goal attempts from Tyrese Maxey. 3. So that is very low considering Tyrese Maxey and what we've seen so far this year. Very excited to see what his usage rate and things like that have been all season long. Really, the last 3 quarters of the games, this guy's usage rate was in the low 20s, low to mid 20s. So little bit of different take on Maxey tonight. They're really feeding, from what it seems like, Embiid and Tobias. They're really running the offense through them. That's my first guess. Game has resumed. Sixers down 2 at the moment on my end. Who's your player of the game so far? Is it Joelle? Is it Tobias? Let us know. We're going to be doing a post-game show when the game ends. So Marquis says, let's go, Ben, 100%. Would love to see Ben attack here in the second half. There you go. Tips it in for Ben Simmons. Is that his first bucket? No, he's got 9 points. Never mind. What's Danny's free throw percentage? Tell you in a second, dude. In the catch and shoot, I'll tell you, he was in that 38% range from 3 in the catch and shoot. Danny Green is shooting this season 37% in the regular season. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. All things considered. Tie game 79-79. Joelle, or Dunderdude says Joelle for me, following Toby. A lot of people saying Joelle. Pretty obvious. Maxey snagging rebounds. JoJo is no joke. You better shut up the disputes between the better big man.
What is up, everybody? Sorry for the delay. What's going on? What did I miss?
I have Sixers down 2. Nothing major. Bucket by Joelle. Couple buckets by the Celtics. Korkmaz comes in.
Yeah, right now I'm seeing on the floor, I got Shake Milton, Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, Furkan Korkmaz, and Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got tired dives.
Yeah.
Philly B says Embiid is the most skilled big man in the league. I don't think anybody can really argue it. I mean, if you're talking pure skill and it depends. To be honest with you, Nikola Jokic is has so many tools in his toolbox when it comes to his perimeter game, his craftiness in the post game. The only thing I would say is if you want to just talk about skills and like all around game, I would say that defensively, Joelle beats him on that side of the ball. So like ultimately, he may have more skill sets than Jokic because of that. But like on offense, Jokic is just something else when it comes to playmaking and post game.
Oh, it's Jokic's feel for the game is so much better than Embiid. It's not even close. Not even close. Coyle is saying I'm feeling a Sixers run. Connor says Jokic is better. So there are disputes around Nikola. Anthony Davis. Wow, I forgot about Anthony Davis. That guy.
I mean, if we're just talking about like, okay, I agree. Anthony Davis ultimately is a more skilled like big man, but do we count like this is an issue? Do you count AD as a power forward or a center? Now, realistically, in my opinion, he's a center, but he likes playing the power forward. So it's like, what do you think about his game is the reason why he'd rather be a power forward?
I think he's a more modern NBA player. And positions don't matter anymore. There's no such thing as a center, power forward, forward, shooting guard, point guard. Those are all made up. I think they're made up terms anymore. You're not a point guard anymore. Players come into the league defined as what they are and who they can defend. You come into the league as a floor spacer. You come in the league as a two-way player. You come into the league as a stretch four. Or so like your role in whatever offense you're in is not a 1 or a 5. It's what your role is. So that whole like, but they need it. Like, I hear it from my dad all the time. He's so old school. Like they need a bruising power forward, a guy that gets boards or something like that. And it's like
they tried that.
Yeah, that's not exactly. But like there's no such thing as like that like prototypical position guy. The modern NBA is positionless basketball. That is not changing. It's about pace and space. It's about having guys that can defend multiple positions. It's about spacing the floor as much as you can. That's not going anywhere. So I have no idea what I was just talking about. Oh, Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis is a more that he screams at, and so does Jokic in terms of like pick and roll and all that kind of stuff. So Joel Embiid's really trying to figure it out. But in terms of skill and then you combine intangibles and IQ and feel of the game, Davis and Jokic are definitely better.
Real quick, Ian Acosta. The score of the game right now is 83 Boston, 79 Philly, with 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left in the game. Jaylen Brown is at the line for him for the Celtics right now. Kevin Cronin asks, he said, why did Dakota Mathias get cut? And Steven said, got an overseas deal. Is that true?
I have no idea.
I mean, I feel like that's definitely like a reason it could have been.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he seemed to be like a really like nice dude, a really good player. And I think he could be a decent player in the NBA and on a team where they just need a guy who can shoot 40%. But I mean, obviously he doesn't really have a big role in this team. And if he can go make some money overseas, I understand that.
Yep. And you're seeing the Celtics bench continue to put it on the Sixers here.
Joelle is just giving it to Tice.
My box score is like really wonky tonight. I don't know about you, but it's like going like up and down.
What do you mean?
Like the score changes and things like that.
Yeah.
Does that count? Yeah, Joelle. Yeah, Joelle. Let's go.
What was I going to say? I'm going to look at what the overall stats are for the game right now. A big thing on the game right now, I think, for the Sixers is just like ultimately 3-point shooting. the Celtics have shot 50% this game from 3 right now so far, and the Sixers are only at 30%, and typically we're above 40 when we're winning games. So ooh, damn.
Don't say it. What? Oh my God. We're going to be seeing that for a long time. He did that against the Bulls last year?
No, it was the way he dunked it. He spun in the air and dunked it like this.
That's so funny. Where's Nadir at? Where's Nadir? Come on, man.
Oh my God. I mean, one thing I want to say is Furkan actually did win a dunk contest over in Europe. So
wearing a Darth Vader mask. Oh yeah. I remember all of that. I remember Sean Kemp or Furkan Korkmaz. Oh my God.
Oh, Chris said Nadir's running to the computer right now.
I hope so. That's
Mark says Furkan Hardem Kuzman. My goodness.
I love it. Korkmaz has these sporadic dunks like that. It's so fun.
Yo, Ian said you're like 7 seconds ahead of me, so your reactions are amazing. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to I am not trying to spoil it for anybody. Sometimes when things like that happen, I just get real excited.
Furkan draws a 3. 3 free throws here coming.
Oh, nice.
All right. That was a nice turnaround J by Jaylen Brown, man. He's so good.
Jaylen Brown, and I've been saying this for the past 2 years to my friends. I'm like, he's one of those. Okay, so obviously I'm a big fan of the Sixers, but there's a few guys around the league, or I mean more than a few guys around the league that I just love watching them play basketball. And Jaylen Brown is one of those guys, although I do not like the Celtics. Jaylen Brown, just one of those guys that he's just such a versatile player. He's got a mid-range. He can handle the ball. He can dunk on just about anybody. And he's starting to get more consistent from 3. So to me, he's just fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any players like that, Dibes?
Yeah, those are always my favorite guys. Guys that are positionless, are defensive players. I've always been a big fan of Pascal Siakam. I know he's struggling right now.
Yeah.
But guys like that, I've Tayshaun Prince going back. Oh God, here we go. I don't know. So again, he's still 20 seconds ahead of me. I have no idea what just happened.
Oh
man. Was that a foul?
Oh my God.
I think that was a foul, man.
Okay. If it's a foul or not, I don't care. I don't get to see Ben Simmons dunk on people all that often. And listen, if it's a foul, I'm sorry. I can't hear the TV. I just saw Ben Simmons dunk on somebody, and I don't get to see that a lot. So when he does it, I'm going to get excited.
Yeah, offensive foul from Ben. That sucks.
Well,
a lot of offensive fouls tonight. I don't know if that's a hot take or what, but that's what it feels like.
Well, you're going to get
another one?
Yeah. That's why I didn't say anything. You were a lot of offensive fouls tonight. Oh my God, Ben has 5 personal fouls already.
What?
I didn't even realize that. He just went and sat down.
All right, Maxie. Need you, buddy. We
I'm
need
pretty
Maxie to
sure
lead
most of
us.
those fouls have been on offensive too. I mean, I know he got a foul on a 3-pointer earlier on somebody or on a shot earlier, but
Effing 5, totally infuriated. 3 in a row. Mark says 5 fouls. Man. All right, need Maxie and Shake to lead us. Get
yeah,
your
I'm not gonna lie. This obviously with Ben having to be on the bench for most of the fourth now because of those 5 fouls is going to be a bit of a struggle on the defensive end. But I'm interested to see what that looks like on the offensive end and see how just how Tyrese and Shake react to having to really take over the game possibly in the big moments, being that this game is close and that they're going to have a lot of the ball handling duties with Ben out from some of the fourth quarter. Sixers need to get going. I mean, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Steven says while Celts know exactly where Ben is going to go before he even knows it, those 2 calls were absolutely ridiculous. Would you agree with that one or no? Like, I thought they were pretty blatant offensive fouls, if I'm honest with you. Mind you, it's not like he's like posting out his arm, but he's like running into a guy who's standing still full force. So I don't know.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Marky215 says this is some BS. Ben looks stiff when going to the rim. What do you see with that?
I was doing some counting. 14 points in that first quarter from Joelle Embiid. In that third quarter from Joelle Embiid there. Ben looks so stiff when he goes to – yeah, he doesn't have touch, man. Been saying that for a while. Like he needs to work on his coordination around the basket. Like that's been my big take. Jason disagrees with that. Like you either have touch or don't or something, but –
FanDuel Sportsbook's risk-free first bet makes it incredibly easy to.
We are not sponsored by FanDuel.
Thank you, ESPN box score, for that advertisement. It's Ben needs to just get some sort of offense around the basket that can be a go-to move because he doesn't have one. He looks awkward as hell when he goes to the basket. When he goes for a layup, he has to switch hands like. He's just not comfortable. He's not comfortable attacking, and that's what needs to change. That's what he needs to practice. The touch needs to improve, and that's like I could care less if he takes a corner 3 a game. I want to see him become a dominant downhill attacker, and we're just not seeing it.
And this is an interesting comment from Mark because this is something that Jason says pretty consistently that since Simmons has no wiggle, he runs through people. It's something that's been consistent about Ben, and he doesn't really have that shiftiness that other like people who you could consider ball handlers and or point guards, whatever you want to say. I would just say ball handlers. He doesn't have that shiftiness to his game, and I mean, realistically, he's 6'10". Does he need shiftiness? He shouldn't at his size. He should be able to just out athlete people typically and outsize people, but he has a very interesting game, I would say, for his build. It's like he tries to play finesse game, but he doesn't have it that well, if that makes sense. Like typically people at his size, they try to big body people. They try to use their speed and athleticism and just pure size to their advantage. And it seems like he tries to use his craftiness and playmaking and also craftiness at the rim instead of that. Like, rather than be dunking on somebody and drawing a foul, he's trying to avoid the contact and like acrobatic layup almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely see him. Furky for 3, boom, corner 3 by Furky, and we're down 3. Let's go. I think
gotta love it.
Ben has the ability to get his shot attacking downhill. He hasn't. It's always the same move, and defenses know it's coming every single time, and they can defend it. So, like you see Ben. I think Doc Rivers even touched on it. Like you see Ben practicing the corner three and you see Ben working on a post up, like practice driving to the basket and finishing through contact. Practice like making like an extra step in your drive that, you know, would open up a whole different arsenal in your offense. Like little things like that. Like it's the same old left-handed drive that we see every time, and it's not gotten better.
Yeah, real quick, Steven, he did on that play. It doesn't look like he threw it off him. It looks like Korkmaz feet were already on the ground by that time. I just saw the replay. It looks like he definitely was the one going out of bounds. Chris says, I wish for Matisse to make shots like I do for Ben. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody wants their players to hit shots. I mean, the problem with Ben is that he's missing shots that typically in last seasons that he would be making. And like right now, how many points? Someone in the comment section tell me how many points he has, that Ben has, because I think real quick, Ben has right now 9 points on the game, and he's 2 for 5. And like we said, most of his shots come on like somewhat contested layups at the rim. And like if Ben makes 2 more shots, he's closer to his average of last year. So it's like, and that seems to have been a consistent thing for him so far this season, is that shots that he's averaging 13, and it's because like 2 or more shots in the game that he's taking that he normally would be making, he's missing, which is why it's kind of confusing. But right now, 10 minutes left in the game, and the Sixers are down 91-97. Peyton Pritchard is looking good, I will say.
Yeah, my man Tiago wrote a scouting report on that guy. We did a video scouting report on that guy. Check it out. He's like that TJ McConnell type.
Yeah, definitely.
Not comparing their game, like skill set, but like just
but the mindset kind of thing.
Like he's always playing at 200%.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly what you have to do when you're at that size in the NBA. And I've seen things about like Isaiah Thomas like that. Like Isaiah Thomas was like that. And maybe I wouldn't compare Peyton Pritchard to Isaiah Thomas's game, because obviously I don't know Pritchard's game that well, but something that you see with Isaiah Thomas at least is that he was always smaller, but he was always on that edge of like he could get his shot off, and he was played super hard. Once he got that injury, he lost that ability to like play with that edge a little bit and like play it to that same speed that he had that was helping him stay in the league. So that's what it seems. It seems that Peyton Pritchard has that effect.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Sorry, there's a lot of people commenting. I gotta get to them. Ian Acosta says, "Who is the stat god of TPL, Jason or Dibes?" I would actually say it's neither of them.
Yeah, 100%.
And no offense to Dibes, but stat god, definitely either Brock or Tiago.
100%.
Both of them always on Twitter with the stats. And don't get me wrong, Dibes as well, but literally Brock makes full like 10-minute videos purely based on stats. So if you want stats, definitely go check Brock out either on his individual YouTube account at Brock Landis, or on here on TPL's YouTube account as well.
Yeah. Let me plug something real quick. Brock Landis on Twitter at Landis Brock. He's got a Ben Simmons 2-parter video coming out tomorrow, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. And my man Tiago at T Scabby will be joining us during today's post-game show. So if you want stats, they're coming.
Yeah, and let's talk about this quick. The Sixers have gone on a nice little run. They're 6-0 run in the past few minutes, and they have tied this game up. And I mean, that's what you need. And the nice thing is also they've been able to go on this run with Joelle out of the game and Ben.
It's really come from Korkmaz and Dwight Howard have had a really good second half so far.
I would say Tobias Harris as well. I think
I meant from the bench. Sorry, the
No,
Sixers
yeah, I
bench is playing much better.
Yeah, and just in these past few minutes where Joelle and Ben have been off when Joelle and Ben have been off the court.
Freaking Marcus Smart, man.
Yeah, Marcus Smart is that guy on the Celtics that just pisses everybody off on the Sixers side. Guys, sorry if we miss any of your comments. We're getting to that crunch time of the game where we're a little focused on what's going on. 8 minutes left in the game right now. Toby seems to be carrying us.
No way.
Toby seems to be carrying us through these last few minutes offensively, going up again.
And now another pretty good
Come on, man.
Presented by
God, I hate these ads, man.
Chris Dunn says, "Thank God for Dwight." I mean, yeah, Dwight Howard has made a big difference off our bench when it comes to getting those rebounds and having fans more confident in this team once Joelle is out of the game, because he does handle things defensively on that side on that side of the court, which was the biggest difference, I think, in how we were losing games at times in past seasons. What do you think about that, Dibs? About Dwight and how he affects our like defense when Joel's not on the court?
It's everything. That's like the number one storyline. If Embiid's not playing, like all eyes go to Dwight Howard and foul trouble. Like that's like the blueprint to beating the Sixers. If Joel Embiid's not playing and you can get Dwight Howard in foul trouble, that's a guaranteed win against the Sixers. Dwight Howard has been really terrific. The turnover percentage is a little high, but overall, like, he has just been such a presence in the pick and roll, offensively and defensively. Such a presence off the court, helping the young kids like Shake and Tyrese Maxey, helping Joelle learn how to set a screen and roll to the basket. It goes
learn how to set a screen.
No, Joelle is a terrible at setting screens.
And now another pretty
Oh
good
my God.
presented by Same Game Parlay, only on
I think I need a new place to find box scores.
Oh my goodness. Dude, just get the Sixers app and just pull it up on your phone. That's what I do.
That's probably not a bad idea.
But real quick, I think it's also important to point out that Dwight Howard is really exactly what you need. I mean, already this game, he's got 10 boards off the bench. He's almost got a double-double off the bench. And last game where we had him starting when we had Joelle out, he had 18 boards on the game, I believe. And that's what he's here for. He's here to get boards off the bench, and he's here to play good defense. And that's exactly what he's been doing.
For me, it's that offensive rebounding. Having a monster to clean up offensive boards, get second chance opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So massive for an offense that's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just so important. He's been terrific.
Yeah, I mean, it shows. I mean, we have 10 offensive rebounds so far this game. One thing I will say, we are definitely down on our rebounding than we are typically. We only have 34 rebounds right now to Boston's 38. And I think that's obviously an issue, being that the fact that they have two big men that are definitely not as savvy as ours, in Tristan Thompson and Daniel Tice, when we have Dwight Howard and Joel Embiid down there. So what do you think is attributing to the difference in rebounding?
Tonight?
Yeah, well, I mean, being that our team averages about 50-something per game and we only have 34 right now, and there's 8 minutes left, and the Celtics have 38.
That's a great question.
Have you seen anything just like by the eye test that has been showing why that might be?
Trying to go through this Sixers app to log in. It's making me like create an account and stuff.
Okay.
What's the reasoning for the rebounding disparity?
Yeah. Is there anything you've seen so far this game that you think attributes to that?
Not off the top of my head.
No. Yeah. I get that. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't have the answer either. That's why I asked. I mean, maybe you could attribute it to the fact that the Celtics are shooting lights out, so it's we're just not getting as many opportunities to get rebounds. The Sixers are on a 9-2 run in the last few minutes though, so you love to see that.
Is the app any good?
I mean, I think so. It has a full calendar of their schedule. It you can listen to the Sixers radio if you need to off of that. Ooh, a nice. I'm not going to say it.
Furkan.
Chris Dunn says Morey gave us a chance at all in one night. Just go one or two more pieces, and we can become a perennial contester for years to come. I don't disagree with that fully. But I also don't agree with that completely. I honestly, I think we're like one piece away. I really do from like being consistent, and I think that is that backup power forward spot. Now, that's only if Ben Simmons figures it out. If I'm honest with everybody, I am of the opinion that if he can't figure out things with the offense this season, I do think they should think about moving on. But that's just my opinion, because I think you can. And don't get me wrong, Ben Simmons is an amazing player. He just might not be what pairs best with Joelle and what they need to complement him. And that's been a conversation for as long as they've been playing together. And I'm not saying that's what it is right now. I just think that if the way he's playing becomes a consistent thing where he's turning the ball over and not being consistent with where he needs to be, I just could definitely see that happening. Jamonte says by 4 minutes we have to be up by 5.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Steven says where the fuck is Langy?
Not with us.
Where is Rob? Where is Rob?
He'll be joining at some point.
We miss Rob. Where is he at? Remember, guys, also this game, if the Sixers win this game, they will be crowned for the number 1 seed in the East as well. Right now, the Celtics are 8-4. The Sixers are 9-5. So I think it just based off win percentage, they're ahead of us right now. Marquise Green says, "Come on, MVP Embiid, it's time." I agree. It is definitely time for Embiid to come out and show out. Who do you think is going to be the perimeter threat for us at the end of the game here? Do you think it's Shake? Do you think it's Tyrese Maxey? What do you think?
It has to be Shake. Run it through Shake. Shake's had a pretty good game so far. I'll go Shake.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. Shake has shown, and not just like recently, but like consistently, that he can be a go-to guy in the end of games because he's just not scared of the moment. And I think it's so nice to see, to have players that are like that. And it seems like Maxey's kind of similar. And obviously we haven't seen much from him yet, but it definitely is exciting that we have 2 guys on the team that could potentially be that for us.
Yep.
One of our guys, Brian Jacobs with the Painted Lines, said on Twitter, he said, love you, Furk, but these minutes belong to Isaiah Joe. What's everyone's thoughts on that? What do you guys think about Furkan playing right now? Is it up, like, based on how he's played today? Does it make you want him to be having these minutes, or what do you think?
I get Doc's reasoning to put him back in because he shouldn't lose his spot due to injury.
Yeah.
That being said, Isaiah Joe definitely kind of brings a lot of the same things that frickin' Korkmaz brings. But Korkmaz has the better resume, and Isaiah Joe needs to add strength. So it's not that crazy to see Korkmaz back in instead of Isaiah Joe. But his leash has to be short. If Korkmaz continues to struggle shooting, it's a no-brainer.
No, I hear you. I get it. I definitely understand that. Real quick, Jason Blevins, our guy in the Wells Fargo Center right now, has just posted a picture on Twitter. I want to share it with everybody. If you're not already, go follow Jason on Twitter. Really great follow for Sixers content. He said, "No fans in the arena allows Embiid to sit behind the basket and evaluate the game from the perspective of a center." That's really nice to see right there. And the fact that Joelle wants to do that to really just understand the game better. I mean, and you really do. You've seen growth in Joelle, I think, more than a lot of players on this team this year.
That looks like Carson Wentz sitting away from Doug Peterson when he's not on the field.
Marquise, you said it best. I just saw it too. Let's go, JoJo. I'm going to wait for Dibes to say it to talk about it, though.
No way. Oh, man, that is gorgeous, man.
Yeah, JoJo has 38 points right now on
Oh, my God.
Consistent shooting. Very consistent shooting.
Whew.
I think it's going to be easy 40 bomb for Joelle right now, especially because we need to get back in this game. Right now on the floor with 5 minutes left on the clock, you got Matisse Thybulle, Joel Embiid, Danny Green, Shake Milton, and Tobias Harris. So we have not seen Ben Simmons since the fifth foul got picked up on him. Do you think we're going to see him really late in the game?
Yeah, probably. They need his defense, 100%.
Yeah. No, I don't. I definitely don't disagree with that. Right now, Embiid is 12 for 17 shooting, 38 points, 9 rebounds. Damn.
Do you remember last season when Joel Embiid hit a 3 against Boston in Boston and did the Tiger Woods fist pump after taking the shot and then blocked? I forget who he blocked. If it was, I don't remember who it was, but he had an incredible block with seconds remaining in the fourth. It was just epic moment. That was the game that he was called out, I think, by Shaq and Barkley.
Yeah, I think you're right. But here's the thing with Joel, and I think that's something you notice that's different about him this year is that in past years, it seems like he would come out to play and have big nights when he was called out, but then and other nights wouldn't as much. And so I think that the biggest difference that I see with Joel is that he's been a lot more consistent with playing to at a high level this year than he has in past.
Kemba Walker has 19 points. How many did he have at halftime?
I'm not sure at all, to be honest with you. Sorry, I'm really paying attention right here to what's going on in the game.
Oh
my God, dude, Joel is getting. I'm sorry. He's getting every foul call for him right now. It's insane.
Celtics 3-point shooting are rimming out a lot in the second half.
Yeah. Dude, right now, Joel, the Sixers have shot 37 free throws, I think, 35.
Love to see it.
The amount of fouls we've gotten called is ridiculous.
You asked me during the pregame, are we going to see MVP Joel Embiid?
Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
Yep. Oh, Embiid is mad at himself right now.
He is locked in.
He is.
40 points is his career high versus Boston.
He says 40 points?
It's just said 40 on while hitting the free throw. See, again, my stat thing is not correct. It still says 36 points for Embiid on my end.
Yeah, I can tell you real quick how many points he has. Embiid has 40 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah.
And he's gotten 18 free throws.
18?
Right. He's got 15 made, 18 shots.
So he had 14.
Ooh, defense, yes. Oh, that's not what you want.
He had 14 points in the third quarter. I'm going to start tallying how many points he's getting in the fourth quarter here.
I'm sorry, dude. Joelle is being aggressive on defense, and he's being aggressive on the offensive end, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. Loving that energy. Marcus Smart is having a good night, though. 25 points, 10 for 19 from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and dude, okay. I want to talk about things. Oh, man. Good defense right there. Here we go.
Get in. Danny Green.
The green light has come out to play tonight.
Oh.
Dude, Joelle is getting an unbelievable amount of fouls on him. I almost feel bad. I'm not going to lie. Marquise says, let's go Green, knocking down a clutch 3 for the team. Listen, man, you can't ask for much else. You can't ask for much else from Embiid.
There is a lot of time left. A lot of time left.
From Green, I meant to say.
The Sixers are outscoring the Celtics 22-13 in the fourth quarter. This isn't the first time we've seen it from this Doc Rivers team this season. This team shows fight, man.
Yeah.
This is a regular thing where it's time to put the offense together. They typically do. Yeah.
And here's the thing as well is like we're not just beating them on the offensive end. The biggest reason why we're now outscoring them in the fourth is because our defense has picked up. We're playing better defense and we're not fouling as much on that end of the court. We're getting strong contests out on the 3-point line, and we're being really aggressive on when they come into the paint and even in the pick and roll. And that's something I want to say too. Like I want to stress very well is that something that you saw in the past years with the Sixers is when teams get them in the pick and roll, no matter what time it is in the game, that we struggle guarding their guards and contesting their shots at the rim because of how they play their pick and roll defense. And something that you've seen this year is that we stress a lot about contesting shots at the inside, especially late in games, like being very aggressive at the rim. So like that has made a huge difference, especially in this game. I mean, you even saw it just there with Joel Embiid getting a block. So
MVP.
What are they looking at right now?
Because when he's at the free throw line, that's the Sixers fans are chanting MVP right now.
Yep. Real quick, Chris Coyle says Tice 4 fouls, 4 fouls, pass 5. Huh?
Thompson has 5 fouls. Williams 5 fouls. I think he's saying keep Joel Embiid to keep attacking. Steven says MVP. That's kind of cool. I never heard that one.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one either.
That might be our title for the postgame show right there.
MV
Bede will be our title. I love it.
Take a picture of that real quick.
Yeah, before I forget it.
Yep.
Well said.
Jamonte, I'm gonna let you take a picture of that quick, and then I'm gonna move on to another comment. Let me know. Jamonte says, I won't be surprised if Embiid gets locked up after tonight because the Celtics are definitely pissed. I mean, listen, that would not surprise me either, but I will say I think a lot of this has to do with the refs. He's getting a lot of ticky-tack fouls on him. I mean, Embiid would already have like 45 points tonight, almost 50 if he made all his free throws. So right now I think he's got 42. Maybe I think he's gonna have 43 if he makes this next free throw. Oh, nope, 42. So like you like damn.
When do we play next? Friday?
I believe so. Believe it's Friday against the Celtics.
I'm dying to see the 2-man game of Seth and Joelle again, man. I'm dying.
No, I agree.
Because I'm pretty sure Seth is going to play Friday.
Yeah, I mean that's what Austin said. I think I wouldn't be surprised either. It seems like they're more concerned with his conditioning than anything.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say as we're getting into the grits of the game and as we're running down the game right now, guys, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, please. After this game is done, after the clock at 0, we're going to do a post game with our very own Tiago. Is Jason coming on today?
No one knows where Jason goes, where he ends.
We will see if we get Jason on with the post game. But
he's like the wind.
he may be on as well. So make sure you stick around for that, and make sure we do post both the Sixers watch party and the post game show on YouTube afterwards. So tomorrow, when the post game show is up, please go back on YouTube, like that video, and comment for us, please. We'd really appreciate that. They do go up as separate videos, so we'd really be appreciative if you showed some love on the post game if you do not already. Also, go check out thepaintedlines.com where we post all our written content on the Sixers and more. And so if you like these watch parties and you like the Philadelphia sports, you would definitely love going on there. There's also Dives movie reviews and TV show reviews like WandaVision, which he is staying up till 4 a.m. doing live reaction videos on what the WandaVision TV show on Disney Plus. So make sure you go check those out. Go follow us on Twitter. Follow me at J_Persichetti on Twitter. Go follow Dives on Twitter as well at Mr. Crockpot. I know me and him definitely post a good portion of Sixers content.
Are you a TV fan?
Am I a TV fan? At times. So I don't always have a lot of time to watch TV.
Oh, yeah.
So why? What's up?
We had our TV draft, a TV series draft on Sunday night.
Yeah.
I got Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
I had the last pick in the first round, and I had the first pick in the second round.
Nice.
I had Fresh Prince, Seinfeld, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The X-Files, Lost, and then Big Bang Theory.
Wow. That is good value in the last round right there.
Are you a Big Bang Theory fan?
Oh my God, yeah.
Love to hear it.
I'm a big Bang Theory fan. I'm a big Impractical Jokers. I'm a oh my God, what's the Friends? I like watching Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a show that's escaping me right now that's on the same channel as Big Bang Theory, I think. Wow. I can't think of what it is. Never mind. Yeah, Big Bang Theory. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, you seem to have you got a lot of good good shows. Right there.
Yeah.
Especially Philly shows.
It's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be really good.
The Office went in the first round. I think it was like the 5th pick in the draft. Something around there.
Mm-hmm. Not surprised. Everyone loves The Office.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's get into this game. We got a little under 3 minutes left. Ooh, a nice defensive play by Joelle Embiid just then. Oh my goodness.
Joelle Embiid is bullying in the post, man.
Dude, you're gonna love what you see in the next 30 seconds. Oh man, you might need to mute me on your end soon.
Yeah,
if you haven't already.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to start getting real excited for this. It's a close game. We got 1:50 left in the game. Sixers up
Toby. Toby.
111 to 109.
All right, I'm gonna mute you.
I got you. Don't mute me. Turn off your audio. I want to make sure I can talk to the fans. Talk to fans through this. So, guys, we're looking good right now. That offensively, we're still going at it. Shake Milton getting a foul call for himself, looking great going into the basket. That's what we're talking about too. Having Shake Milton be that guy you can give the ball to at the end of games, as well as Joel Embiid. And that's why I keep comparing him to, that's why I keep comparing him to
NFL, let's go.
Getting excited.
Let's go.
That's why I keep comparing Shake to oh my goodness, the name's escaping me right now. Clippers guard Lou Williams, Sweet Lou. That is why I've consistently compared him to him, because he just seems to be able to get buckets in timely moments, and in other ways, obviously. But yeah, we're gonna see how this game goes. Marquis says, "Let's go, Shake Milton." Jamonte says, "We're playing too fast." Marquis says, "Defense time again." Yeah, I agree. I think we really got to focus on that. Oh, Ben Simmons making a good play, just then knocking the ball out of Joel Embiid's hand. Joel Embiid's hands. Daniel Tice's hands. Ben really getting it going on the defense end. You got to love that. And that is what really he's got to be for this team if he's not going to be as great offensively. Looks like they're going to let Tobias. Oh, my goodness. They're calling all sorts of ticky-tack fouls right now. This is crazy. I honestly almost feel bad for Boston. Like, Tobias didn't even think it was a foul. He tried to pass it to an open shooter and gets a foul call on him, and now is at the line. But, I mean, listen, free throws, so what are you going to say? I don't think we can Steven, I don't think we can complain about getting foul calls and everything like that. I don't think we complain about that at all. But listen, what are you gonna do?
Soft fouls, man. Soft
Dude,
fouls.
No, that's what I was just talking about. I was saying Toby even looked upset about the fact that he's getting a foul call on him right there. But I mean, we get to the line, so we can't be upset about it. Celtics with a timeout. Philly up 115-109 with 49 seconds left in the game. It's looking like the Philly might pull this one out, but we'll see. Still a good amount of time left for the Celtics to come back in this, and they do have Jaylen Brown on the other side, who is pretty clutch at times. So we will see what goes on right now. Thank you, Marquise, for putting that up. Thank you for putting the score up there so I can put it up on the screen. Dives, what have you saw in the last minute that you're thinking right now?
Yeah, just a gritty win. Or not a win. It's not a win yet. But
Knock on wood.
But they're just dominating at the free throw line. Dominating here. A lot of soft fouls being called on the Celtics.
Yeah.
I gotta admit it. But 43 free throw attempts tonight. I'd be very curious. That's definitely by far their highest number this season. It has
undoubtedly. And I think that's the biggest reason why Joel Embiid's got 40 points on the game. I mean, Joel has had 21 free throw attempts alone. I mean, if he would have had, how many points more would he had? 17 for 21. He would have had 40. He would have had 46 points in this game if he would have made all his free throws tonight.
Yeah, you have 23 more free throw attempts in the Boston Celtics. Celtics fans have a right to be very upset about this game.
Oh, like, definitely. I completely agree.
That Tobias Harris foul was like pretty ticky-tacky. Like, I'd be throwing things if I was a Celtics fan, but you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Dude, this guy is literally calling every single ticky-tack foul.
Right. I'll be back.
I don't know, fans. I don't know if you maybe. I got to see that again. Okay, yeah, that's a foul. Just kidding. That's definitely a foul. Matisse Thybulle, I thought he got all ball. I thought he got all ball on that one, but definitely not. He definitely got some wrist on that replay. Ben Simmons with some good defense as they drove to the basket. A rebound by Danny Green. Marcus Smart grabs the ball quick. And now they're going for a jump ball with 37 seconds left. Boston goes up with the shot. Kemba misses the layup, and Danny Green and Marcus Smart come down with the rebound and getting the jump ball right now.
Great defense by Ben.
Definitely great defense by Ben. I completely agree. One thing you love to see out of Danny Green, and it's kind of, it seems like it's kind of what guy like James Ennis used to give you, where it's like that offensive rebounding, but also giving you that consistent 3-point shot, better than what James Ennis used to give you, obviously. But that's kind of what's been reminding me of Danny Green, because you've seen it you've seen it in other games, not just what you're watching now with him coming down with that late game rebound, but you saw it in the game we won without without Joelle, or no, without Ben, I believe it was, where Danny Green came down with a rebound and was able to quick outlet it out to guys like Dakota Mathias or Isaiah Joe. And I think that's something that's key to think about with Danny Green. Is he seems to be really good about getting those late game rebounds. What is up, Tiago?
Oh man,
Yo,
what a game, man! This is the game.
Don't already know, this is our man Tiago at T-Scabby on Twitter, one of our most stat guys for the Sixers, and also has some great articles that he releases at The Painted Lines, and at thepaintedlines.com.
Chris, you're right. Chris.
Yeah. Again, I've been muting it. I've been muting the last 2 minutes so I can react to it. Yeah, we got this. It's
Sixers
over.
win.
Yeah,
117-109.
Over.
The game is over.
Carter.
Joelle Embiid, 40 bomb. Joelle Embiid.
Yeah, that was incredible, man.
Joelle came out to play tonight. All right,
that's how you do it.
Listen, before we get any more of our comments in, we're gonna move into the post game show, guys. Like I said before, we are going to be moving on to the post game show. We're gonna put up an intro, and then we'll be right back with you guys. Make sure you stay here, stay put. We will be right back. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is up, everybody, and welcome to our post-game show for the Celtics and the Sixers. Listen, what a game. What a game for the Sixers tonight. Let me have 1 second. Dibs, take over for 1 second. Sorry.
The Sixers took down the Celtics 117-109, moved to 10-5, 8-1 at home. I believe the number one team in the Eastern Conference. This is our post-game show. We're going to be reacting, talking about our top takeaways, players of the game, what it means moving forward, and grades. Joining us today, of course, is my man Justin. You know him on Twitter at J_Persichetti. What's going on, Justin?
Listen. What a game for the Sixers tonight. I mean, listen, there was adversity, and we were not shooting well at the beginning of the game. Yep. Ben Simmons, obviously a shaky night tonight, but Joelle Embiid showing up. That's key right here.
Period. What about you, Tiago? Follow my man Tiago on Twitter at Tscabia. What's going on, man?
Thanks, Chris. I could live with a lot of Boston Sixers games like this for the next 3 to 4 years for sure. This was an absolutely phenomenal basketball game throughout the entire game. I thought that Boston brought their absolute A game tonight. There's no question about it. They were hitting all types of shots, man. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, you name it, Daniel Theis. They brought it, man. So give them a lot of credit. But the Sixers have the league's MVP right now, and that makes a difference in the long run. So,
I mean, can we talk about the fact that the Celtics were shooting like 50% at one point during the game, and they ended the game shooting 33% from three?
I mean, when it got nut crunching time, the Sixers defense, they tightened the bolts a little bit, and we can talk about that in detail. But I thought that the Sixers, man, they competed it the way you want a team like to compete against a very, very good Boston team. So
Yeah.
I was excited, man. This is a great win for the Sixers.
Really good win, even though no Jason Tatum, no Seth Curry on our end. But really, this was the Joel Embiid game. Joel Embiid had 42 points, 10 boards, 2 steals, a block. He was a plus 15, 12 of 19 from the field. But the main take here was the amount of free throws that Joel Embiid was able to at the line. 17 of 21. I want to look at the quick stats here. The Sixers had they were 36 of 35 from the free throw line in this game. And joining us today is my man Jason over at the Wells Fargo Center. Call him at J. Blevins NBA. Jason,
what's up, Jay? What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Good win.
Yep. I just got done talking about Joel Embiid, his ability to just eat at the free throw line, the Sixers' ability to just really dominate at the free throw line. That was one of the major differences in this game. I don't know how long we have you, Jason. What was one of your takeaways of this game?
42 points on, I think, 17 shot attempts. Might be 18. Might have been one I missed at the end, but
17. You're right.
Yeah, that's just an incredible efficiency, and it's backbreaking. I think he nearly fouled out both Celtics centers. I think he put 5 fouls on each one of them. He also, I think Tice had a really good game because of the dribble penetration of Kemba Walker, forcing Embiid to come help, which opened up a lot of easy stuff for Tice. But I mean, just a dominant MVP type performance.
And speaking of the MVP type performance, look at that MVP type performance brings us into the conference now. Sixers officially the head of the Eastern Conference after getting this W. Now 10-5 on the year, putting the Celtics at 8-5. Hopefully, putting the Celtics at 8-6 and extending that lead in the conference on Friday.
Love to see it. Justin, what was one of your takeaways?
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway you can see is that defensive push we had at the end of the game today. Consistently throughout the game, our offense was spotty. And then in that second half, we started really picking up, and the defense started picking up just in that fourth quarter. I mean, I think we held the Celtics on defense in the fourth to 17 points, and consistently throughout the game in the first quarter, they had 25, second quarter 36, third quarter 31. So that, I think, says it all. Obviously, offensively, we stepped up as well in the fourth, but defense, to me, was the key at that time.
All right, what about you, Tiago? Takeaway.
Yeah, so I think Justin touched on a very interesting point because through the first, 3 quarters or so, I thought that the Sixers defense was struggling a lot to what Jason was saying, to contain dribble penetration, keep Kemba under wraps, keep Marcus Smart under wraps. But I thought that in that fourth quarter in particular, they made some adjustments. So I don't know if you guys noticed, they were trapping Kemba a lot more. They were throwing some hard doubles at him. And that started to create a lot of issues for Boston. So I think Kemba ended up with 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. He might have had a couple of shots, but outside of that, he went silent for that final period. And I thought that was an interesting adjustment by Doc to say, okay, listen, we got to put an end to this dribble penetration because it was going to be the death of the Sixers tonight. So I thought that defensively that adjustment was key. And the other thing was, Ben had 5 fouls in the third quarter. So you're asking now Matisse and you're asking Danny Green to really step up and carry the defensive load. And I thought that both of them perhaps didn't contribute as much offensively as you would like. I know that Danny hit a big shot at the end, but they stepped out in the fourth quarter and they carry a lot of the load that Ben usually does in crunch time. So those 2 guys deserve a lot of credit because they played really well down the stretch.
Another takeaway I had coming into this game, actually in the pregame show, was limiting the turnovers. You look at last game versus Memphis, the Sixers' turnover percentage was 18.3. When you look at this starting lineup on the Sixers, they have a crazy amount of turnovers when they lose. 15 versus Cleveland, 19 versus the Nets. They had 16 turnovers on the starting lineup versus Memphis. Tonight, only 5 turnovers from the Sixers starting lineup. Exactly what you want to see. What was it? Ben had a crazy 36% turnover percentage. He had 3 tonight and 8 assists. That's what you want to see. Jason, any other takeaways from this game? You're muted, bro.
started. I think we started to see the transition of Ben Simmons into playing off ball at times. And, we've seen it in spots, but I think this game for me was the most purposeful version of that. And I think that was a reaction and an adaptation of some of the problems that defenses have been giving him. And I think for the most part, it was good. I think I'm a little tougher on Shake tonight because I don't think he was as seamless as he could have been, switching between attack mode and being a facilitator. And I think that's what you need if you're going to have Ben Simmons off ball. In theory, Ben being the transition point guard and Shake being the half-court point guard makes sense to me. But I think it's up to Shake to really take that role to unlock it. So
now, can I ask you guys a question quick? With Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey coming into the team, and this team just ultimately looking like they have a different identity and just a different purpose. Is this a new tradition that we're actually going to be on the winning side of the Celtics and Sixers games? Is this going to be a new thing? Like, usually we're coming to the Celtics game and being like, all right, the Celtics have the Sixers team figured out. This is looking like it's going to be a loss? Like, I mind you, they didn't have Jason Tatum. We can sit there and obviously say that. But, like, is this a good sign does this look like a different Sixers team from past years?
I think that if Philly can play a clean game like they did tonight with turnovers and their shot selection, they have a chance against anybody. I mean, Embiid is playing at a level right now that I don't think any team has an answer to. So, but they have to play a clean game. And to your point, like, Jason Tatum is a big-time difference maker on that team, obviously. So I think those two teams, man, if it comes out of the playoff series, I would not be surprised if it goes down 7 games. I mean, what we saw last year was an aberration with Ben being out, and other factors at play. But these two teams, you can tell they're very well coached. They understand what their game plan is on both sides of the ball, and they're executing on both ends. So, I wouldn't put much thought into this game outside of just I thought the Philadelphia played a phenomenal game.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what Tiago says. I'm gonna just enjoy this one.
I mean, how can you not enjoy it when you got Embiid going off for 42 points? So
I mean, the Sixers got embarrassed by the Celtics during the playoffs. No Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons struggled offensively tonight, but this is a game that the Sixers really showed grit and fight and really just stepped up defensively when they had to. Outscored the Celtics 14 points in that fourth quarter. Any other takeaways, Tiago?
I mean, the only thing that I wrote about this earlier in the week is, we talk about Embiid's development. What I see that I think has taken his game to another level, that MVP level, is his ability to create off the drive. So he's not only facing up guys and selling off that mid-range pull-up, he's attacking the basket like a true guard. And he's not turning the ball over. He's making the right decisions off the dribble. And next time you guys watch him, anybody who's on the chat and wants to really understand what's going on with him, his ability to take guys off the dribble, use different types of moves coming downhill is it's tremendously impressive. Like, he did not have this type of skill set coming into the league, and it's really taken his game to an entire different level right now. And it's been fun to watch. I mean, it's like having another guard on the court. It's quite impressive.
Quick before we get into players of the game, Jason, I want to ask you about Tyrese Maxey, because Tyrese Maxey really struggled tonight. 21 minutes, 0 of 4 from the field, 0 points. He did again have 0 turnovers for the 6th time tonight. But the takeaway is Boston was kind of able to kind of phase him out.
We're going to start out with Tom Moore.
Jason, what do you got going on?
Your team really did a much better job stopping dribble penetration and going over screens to prevent open threes, and those that hurt you earlier in the game, and were 2 of the reasons you held them to 17 points in the period.
Yeah, I love that fourth quarter. I actually love the third quarter, the second half of the third quarter, because we were searching a little bit, and I thought the game was that way the whole game. We got out to a great start. They caught up. They took the lead. But I thought the end of the third was big because the second unit was on the floor. closed the gap, tied the game. And then I thought the starters came in defensively. We ran them off the three. We pushed them inside the 3-point lane, but we didn't give them easy twos. So a lot of deflections. I thought we got our hands on the ball. It was a really hard play game by both teams.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to go to Kai.
Hey, Coach. Can you just kind of talk about Joelle? It just seems like he just seems like he has like a different mean streak this year when it comes to just demanding the ball, taking over. What are you seeing out of him?
What you see, same thing. I love how he played tonight because he kind of let it come to him with 40. That's hard to do. But every time they double teamed, he made the pass. Every time they didn't, he attacked. I don't know. I thought early on they wanted to double team. We got those 2 threes off of his passes. They got out of it. He started scoring. They double team again. We get another 3. I thought that kind of balance from your team is good. And I love that he's trusting that.
Thanks, Coach.
Next, Paul Hudrick.
Hey, Doc. In that vein, when it seemed like Joelle was kind of slowing down a little bit, Tobias really picked up the slack there in the fourth quarter, scoring-wise. How big was that for him to kind of sense that moment and kind of take over offense?
He was huge. I thought he was huge early in the game, too. He got off to a quick start. I don't think he got but 1 shot in the third quarter, and so we got to do better there. And everyone does. They have to recognize when you got a guy going. I thought the biggest play offensively of the game, other than Joel's points, was Tobias post-up down low. The post-up with Joelle being the passer, which puts teams in a tough spot. So, it was good. Thought Ben was unbelievable. Defensively, first of all. Garden, we put him on Kimba tonight. We put him on Jaylen Brown tonight. We put him on Marcus Smart tonight. It's amazing what he can do for us. And tonight was a great example of that.
And just to follow up with Ben, it was him playing with 5 fouls and to kind of make those plays at the end. How impressive was that to you?
It was huge. It was a tough call, like when to put him back in. Usually that's not a hard call, but when you're putting them on Jaylen Brown and Kimba, it's very difficult to not pick up a foul and stay aggressive, and he was able to do that.
Thanks.
Over to Keith.
Hey, Doc, you started off singing before you addressed the media. Is that because this was a pleasing victory to you, for you?
No, it was because I was just watching a performance by Demi Lovato singing A Lovely Day to Joe Biden. And so my granddaughter loves that song, so it's stuck in my head.
Oh, I thought they had you singing and you were so happy to perform.
Early to sing out the games.
So let me ask you this, Doc. Like, when you look at the Celtics, right? Last time the Sixers played the Celtics in the playoffs, it led to them making roster moves, coaching hires, and new front office people. When you look at this game, I know that you didn't have Seth, and I know they didn't have Jason Tatum, but what does this say about your team, the way they performed for you today?
It says a lot. Listen, Boston's a top-tier team, and, they're extremely well coached. They play together. They're a bunch of bulldogs, and that's what they were trying to do out there, and our guys didn't back up. I don't know in the past, but tonight there were 2 bulldogs going at each other, and that's what we have to be as well.
All right, thanks, Doc.
All right, next we're going to go to Tim, and Ben Simmons is available on the locker room link.
Hey, Doc. You talked, at least either during training camp or in the early part of the season, about you don't really know what it's like to coach guys until you have them on your team. I was curious, after you've been around Joelle now for a month or so, what has surprised you the most about him, and are you surprised at all with the level that he's been able to play out so far this year?
I'm not surprised with the level. I'm just surprised. I don't know if I'm surprised is the right word. He's just more talented, Tim, than even I knew. I knew he was extremely talented, but he has so many more gifts, off the dribble. He can make his spots. One of his weak points, I guess, is post passing, and he's been phenomenal in that this year. He's tough to guard. I guess the other thing, I knew he was big, but I don't think you know how big guys are until you're in the locker room with him. He's a big man, and he's playing that way.
Last one, Austin.
Hey, Doc. So tonight was your first night on this side of the Celtics-Sixers rivalry.
Yeah.
I feel like, they fought back to get back into this game and win on the stretch. Did you feel like you learned something new about your players tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we have to have some mental toughness down the stretch. But if you look also at some of our games, we've won 2 or 3 games already that way this year. And that tells you that this team has an ability to dig deep, even when things aren't going well for them. It's interesting. I thought about that walking off. I said, I'm so used to being on the Boston side and the Boston feeling. What's funny is they're intense both ways. When I was there and now when I'm here, the intensity is the same. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, guys, have a lovely day.
All right, now I think we're gonna head over to the Ben Simmons. Am I correct on that, Jason?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, that was on that last question there, that was our man Austin Krell from the Painted Lines. So listen, he was on here for pregame, so he's on there asking questions for us as well. So now we're gonna pull up the Ben Simmons post-game availability interview. Jason Blevins at J Blevins NBA is our beat reporter for them, so he has access and he is showing you exclusive content as a NBA beat reporter would see. So right now we're going over to Ben Simmons. It looks like he's not speaking yet. Am I correct on that, or is it just not up?
Not yet.
Okay.
So I'm gambling a little bit that Joelle will be in the shower late.
Hey everyone, because Doc is either finished or almost finished, Ben's going to be over at the primary. Sorry about that. Ben Simmons to the post-game link.
Hey, welcome to our life.
Looks like we got to go back to the other link.
Hey, we joke about how the sausage is made. This is our life.
There's a lot easier when they're all there.
This is our life on game days. It's always
Real quick, Tiago. Dabs has a question for Tiago. What are you going to say, Dabs?
Yeah, what was your take on Ben Simmons? Because we heard a lot of comments tonight during our watch party on Ben Simmons is not involved. He's not he had like 3 shots in the first half. He ended up with 11 points, 5 total shots. What was your thoughts on Ben tonight?
Yeah, what's a game without some sort of Ben Simmons? Quotes. I thought that defensively was one of his best games he played all year. I thought that he was asked to do a lot. I think you guys heard Doc say, he was asked to defend Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, pretty much anybody who Boston threw at him. So I thought defensively he was phenomenal. And I think what Jason said earlier, he's asking to do a lot more off ball, which means a lot more screening, a lot more rolling. So it's going to have less of a impact on the score sheet for Ben Simmons, but the same struggles that we've seen so far from him continue, which is, finishing around the rim, drawing contact, making free throws. So is that going to change this year at a, high level? I'm not sure, but, it's not all bad with Ben. Focus on things he does off the ball and specifically focus on what he does defensively. And I thought that today he was one of the better players on the court.
I don't think he had a pick 6 tonight, which I think is the key.
I will say he definitely had noticeably a lot of deflections and a lot of strips on people. Just not all of them ended up going down the other end of the court. He did have some that ended up going out of bounds that I thought were.
No,
still
I mean, he didn't turn the ball over.
Word Tobias
Oh, yes.
is actually going to be here, not Ben.
So it's looking like Tobias may be the guy we get. Are we?
I'm gonna unshare for a minute. As soon as he comes up, I'll bring
Here,
it back.
if you want to share it, I can remove it from the screen. I think it'll just stay at the bottom there.
That's great. Back to Tyrese Maxey. Jason, you had some really good comments on Tyrese Maxey in that first half. Really struggled to get his shots. Clearly the defense, Brad Stevens' defense, adjusted to Tyrese Maxey. He was in the scouting report. What was your take on Maxey tonight?
Yeah, I just think this is part of the
rookie process where you play well enough to get on a scouting report, and then they take away the things that you've done well, and you have to adapt and do other things well next. And that's where he's at. And Tobias is coming up.
Let's start with Lauren Rosen.
It's a tough life.
You got to share
This season, you've been really aggressive late in games. How gratifying is it to see your work paying off and that confidence showing through late in games?
Definitely gratifying. I think as a player, those moments you want. And I just think all in all, teammates, docs, put myself in those positions to be effective fourth quarter. Doc preaches it every day, every practice. It's just to make the right play. So, more times than not, it's not. Some of them aren't even for me to score. They're just for me to make the right play for us to win a game. And everybody has been doing that tonight in this game. I thought fourth quarter came and we all pulled for one another. Just made the right look. So that was a huge reason why we won the game.
How cool is it to see Joelle playing the way that he is on this sort of MVP caliber run thus far?
It's not sort of. It's for sure MVP caliber. He's night after night, he controls the game, controls the paint. More than anything, is defensively, he's just a force for us. His activity in pick and rolls, his presence out there is huge. So I think for sure putting on an MVP year. And one of the biggest things is that we continue to sustain it game after game, and we progress as even himself continue to progress throughout this year. But I'm happy for him because this is what he's put in. And when you win and are successful as a team, you get that type of notoriety for sure.
Thank you, Tobias.
All right, Kai.
Hey, what's going on, T? Just to kind of piggyback off of that, it just seems like Joelle is just kind of playing at playing a little more mean streak that you don't normally see out of him. Like, are you noticing him to kind of being stepping up as a leader and be like, hey, give me the ball, I'm going to get us some wins?
Yeah, I mean, well, we know as a whole collective group that he's the guy that we can go to give us buckets and to make the right play.
So just got word Joelle's going to be on the other link, so I'm joining that.
So we're going to hear comments from Joel Embiid. Let us know in the comments section. We're talking about a lot about Tobias in the comment section. One thing he said about Joel Embiid, which we're going to go talk to right now, is his MVP type play in the beginning of the season. Now, in the comments, let us know, what do you think has been the biggest thing that is making Embiid have that jump this year? And honestly, I think that's all it is. What do you think is attributing to him getting all these points per game and being at this level?
Yeah, I got you, bro. All right, we'll get started with Joelle. First question, Jason Blevins.
Hey, Joel, big night tonight. Last couple of games, I've noticed you've been sitting behind the basket, sort of watching the game unfold. What does that perspective give you extra versus sitting on the bench?
I mean, it's all about, if you don't sit on the bench, you're going to wear a max. And playing in the game, it's kind of hard to, breathe, and you go to the bench and you got to wear. So that area, I guess, is what they call it, cool down, whatever. And I'm also by myself. And try to, get back to myself, start thinking about what I can do better. But it's hard to breathe through the mask when you're on the bench.
Thank you.
Noah Levick, next.
Hey, Joel. Just first off, you missed this road trip because of your knee. How is your knee doing right now?
My knee is doing great. My whole body feels amazing.
By your standards, even, this was a very good night for drawing free throws. What were the keys to success there?
Too many missed free throws. But as a team, we did a good job, especially at the right times. They had that run in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter, the bench guys that came in, they gave us a support. Tobias had a great night. Like I said, he's playing at the all-star level, as it should be, and he should be an all-star. Shake was great. Sixth man of the year. Matisse, you can also include him on that, defensive player of the year and Bennett's man. He's still doing a great job. Again, guarding all the team's best player, doing a great job.
Mark Narducci will be next. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Joelle, I just joined, so if you were asked this, I'm sorry, but you really seem to take advantage of their defense inside. It seemed like they had no answer for you every time they went in. How about that? Just being able to dominate them. They don't have great height, and you were able to take advantage.
They got some pretty good players. Tristan Thompson, he's been in the league for a long time. He's won it. Daniel Teese, he's a big guy. He's doing a great job. We played a few times against each other. And pretty good. Today he shot 10 for 11, and he had a lot of points, way too many points. We got to limit that. So it's not about the size. They got pretty good big men. I guess, I just did a better job. Through the double and triple teams are the same.
Keith Pompey.
What's up, Joe? How you doing? Last time y'all faced them in a real game, it was in the playoffs. They swept y'all. From that point on, you guys just basically went through a whole facelift. And to me, I was looking at this game sort of like, I know both of y'all were missing certain players, but I looked at it as a barometer to see where you guys are. And when you look at it, what did you find out about your team?
Obviously, they're missing, a great player in Jason Tatum. We also missing best shooter. Opens up the floor a lot for us, and it makes the game easier for everybody else as far as driving lanes and knocking down shots. But losing to them, in the playoffs, and them being also first in the East, you want to go out there. You want to play against that competition, and you want to beat them. You want to see what you got, and you want to prepare for the playoffs. And I thought we did a good job.
I do too. Just talk about. How do you think you guys? I know you haven't been there yet, but when you look at it and see how you guys are gelling together, when it's all, when you have the majority of your team, how does it make you feel about the future of this squad moving forward?
We got a great future. We got a bunch of young players. You look at, you start with the top ones, Tobias, Ben, and then you add that to the rookies. You got Maxie, you got, Shake who's doing a great job. You got, Matisse, who's been amazing. You add that to the vet, you add the vet presence with that too, which I think has helped us a lot in, Dwight, despite what you hear about, him in the past, is when he came to the team, I could have never thought that whatever I heard was true. Like he's a great teammate, probably, one of the best up there that I've ever had. Always great energy, always smiling, uplifting everybody. So we got a great group of, guys. But we still gotta take it to the next level. We got a long way to go.
All right, thanks, man.
Go on to Kyle Neubeck.
Hey, Joelle. So Marcus Smart did an interview after the game tonight, and he said that he talked about the discrepancy in foul calls, and specifically talked about you saying that you flail a lot and you get calls. So I guess wondering if you have any kind of reaction to that.
Marcus Smart just told me that I flail a lot. Come on. I'm sure he knows himself and he knows his game too. He does a lot of that. And I don't think I do. I mean, if you watch basketball and if you're a student of the game and if you actually pay attention during the game, I mean, we all say, like, every single foul, I get fouled. And they probably don't call all of them, like the last one. When, there was 3 minutes left and I went up and that was a foul and they knew it, but they didn't call it. So there's a lot that they don't call. And there's a lot that, they call because we have to. The game is physical. Other teams tend to try to be extra physical against me. And I guess I'm just smarter than everybody else. I just take advantage of it. I just take advantage of how they're guarding me. You can call that, I don't know, basketball IQ. Like if you're going to put your hand up there, I'm going to take advantage of it and I'm going to get to the free throw line because I know that I'm a great free throw shooter. And that's a better chance for me to, help the team win in those situations.
Nice shot.
The last question will be Jackson Frank. Go ahead, Jackson. Jackson, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Joe, it seems like maybe this year offensively compared to prior years, you're getting the ball in different spots than just kind of the low post, the mid post. I'm curious what kind of freedom it gives you to catch the ball at the elbow, the free throw line, and kind of how that opens up your entire offensive game.
It's hard to guard. Teams, that's the double and triple me, even more this year. Every year they keep doing the same things, and it gets harder if, I got to catch the ball on the block every single time. That's an easy place to double. And, I've been working on my game to, extend it and, also not just play like a big man and also play like a guard, being able to pull through traffic and, shoot fadeaways or pull up jumpers. So playing out of delay actions, that's good for me because how you gonna double that? You can't. It's hard to double from the middle of the floor, and if you double, we got way too many good shooters for me to kick it out and make the shot. So there's a lot of freedom. I get to be myself in that offense. It's not just about, okay, let's dump it onto Joe and let him figure it out. Let's see what he can get us. I can attack the game, especially if I know that they're doubling or triple teaming me. I can attack the way in a different style, and I'm just taking advantage of it. And he's been working well, and it's hard to go.
All right, that's it. Thanks, Joelle.
Can we just talk about the fact that Joelle definitely got a little bit offended based on that comment? You saw that he got a little heated after that remark about Marcus Smart.
Well, he's right. He gets fouled virtually every trip down the floor. So it's comical when guards who basically can't touch him will talk about big men getting too many calls because, quite frankly, big men in this league get hacked incessantly. And
plus, it's also Marcus Smart. If it was anybody else, I think Joe.
Well, listen, I think Marcus Smart I think that's it for tonight. But I think Marcus Smart is a guy that if he was in Philadelphia, people would, 60% of the people would absolutely love the guy. And
we have constantly talked about that in the watch party today, how if Marcus Smart was a Philly guy, everyone would be drooling over him.
He reminds me, who he reminds me of? Lenny Dykstra. Now, Lenny turned crazy, so everybody knows about crazy Lenny Dykstra. But as a player, he was a New York Met, won a World Series with the Mets. One of the most hated players in Philadelphia comes over to the Phillies, and that style, the same style that everyone hated, that tough as nails, everyone loved. So, to me, Marcus Smart is just Lenny Dykstra in basketball shorts.
All right, so let's get. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Dad.
Typically, we do a player of the game. I don't think that's really necessary unless anybody else wants to bring up anything. Or we just move on to grades for tonight. Sound good?
Yeah, I thought that Isaiah Joe. No, I was just joking.
It's funny. Every time I'm on, you ask for who to predict player of the game. I'm like, I don't know, their best player. I'm gonna stick with.
All right, let's go on to team grades. How would you grade tonight's performance? Lead us off, Tiago.
I would give the Sixers a strong B+. I think that this is the type of performance you want to see from your team early in the season. It's showing the improvements that we expect, right? So it's Embiid, it's protecting the basketball, it's doing the things that you really need to do to beat a well-coached, Brad Stevens team. So, I thought they checked off most of those boxes tonight, so I give them a B+.
What about you, Jason?
Yeah, I think B+ is right. Something tells me Boston tried a tactic, a little bit of a switch up because it's early in the season against the Sixers, where they would force Joel Embiid to beat them and take away the other options. And I think the Sixers passed that test and said, okay, you want to let Godzilla eat, Godzilla's going to destroy your city. And so I would expect Friday to see a completely different defensive approach, more consistently doubling him, more consistently slapping, daring the refs to put him at the line 21 more times.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that works? Because they tried that late, and I think Doc said that. It was like Joe made the right read. It was 1-2, Danny Green corner 3, game over. Yep. So it's a difficult position to be in.
He did, but I just think they're going to try to run around and get him bringing the ball below his waist and doing the things that we've seen them do to him before. I think they'll go back to it. Just tonight seemed like they were going to tolerate more Joel Embiid offense and try to cut off his outlets. Now with Seth Curry out there, I think it changes a lot of stuff. So I think Friday's going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, man. What about you, Justin?
Let me just say one thing. I think if Tatum comes back, I wouldn't necessarily just automatically say that adds 30 points to the Celtics. I think a lot of guys got fed tonight because Tatum wasn't there playing hero ball. So that's something else to watch.
Yeah. There is a ball stopping element to Tatum that I don't think plays well with like Marcus Smart and those guys. So yeah, it's a very interesting point.
How would you grade the Sixers' performance, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I know you guys are sticking to that, like a B+, B range. I would honestly give them an A- just purely based on the fact that this was a game where, honestly, early we weren't looking at great offensively or defensively. We were committing a good amount of fouls. They were getting a lot of part of it was the Celtics were hot from 3 at the beginning of the game. But the fact that we were able to fight back at the end, play lockdown defense in the fourth quarter, making them only score 17 points and then scoring 31 points ourselves, I think that itself, to me, shows a lot of potential in this team when it comes to fighting back into games and fighting back not only offensively but defensively. So ultimately, I think they get an A- just on that alone and just on Embiid's performance alone because, damn, that was MVP performance if I've ever seen one.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go into final thoughts. Tiago, any final thoughts on tonight?
This is we're starting to see a team that's getting back healthy. It's, Jason mentioned, Seth Curry on Friday. So let's see what that looks like on Friday, man. If they string back-to-back performances against, Boston, I'd be very, very – I would give the first quarter of the season a strong, A- if they're able to close this out here in good fashion. So,
what about you, Jason?
I just love every time I see Mr. Yamasaurus. I live for that stuff. So,
Mr. Yamasaurus, how many different names has he had?
I don't know, but I love them all. I love all of his comments. I love Nadir. I love Marky 215.
Can we call out Dunder Dude?
I love everybody. And if I forgot about you, I truly do enjoy seeing these comments every night. It makes it really fun, even when I'm not necessarily looking forward to it. Once I get in and I see the interaction, it just makes it worth it. So I appreciate everyone. I'm going to head home. I've got to drive. So
thanks, Jason.
See you, Jason.
All right,
If
Justin.
you don't already know, real quick, that is Jason Blevins. He is our NBA beat reporter for the Sixers. If you want more content like the post games, let us know. Let us know in the comments of this video. And when we post the post game show, because we do separate the videos, make sure go show us some love, like the video, and comment letting us know if you want to keep seeing those post game interviews with the team. So like Jason, go follow him on Instagram at J Blevins NBA, and get exclusive content from the Sixers for his NBA beat reporting. So yeah, that's Jay Blevins right there.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you everybody here for watching. Make sure you check us out at the Painted Lines. You can check out all of our amazing NBA content by my main man, Tiago, down there at T-Scabby on Twitter, at thepaintedlines.com, NBA content. My man Alston will be dropping a game review. It's probably already published. I'm not lying. So go check that out. Tiago, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to talk about Zion's defense this week because I watched that game last night, and it was a train wreck, man. I don't know what's going on over there, but we need to start having a Zion conversation, man. It's not looking good, so we're going to talk about that this week.
Love it. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, go follow me on Twitter if you like, at J_Persichetti. Listen, we're doing these watch parties every game for the Sixers and the Flyers and the Eagles as well. And I can only assume the Phillies, when they come around, we may be doing it for them as well. So just make sure if you want
do not invite me for those.
If you want great Philly content and more, make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe to all our videos. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, guys. We have a lot. We got a lot of people in here, more than usual. So please like the video. Please stick around, subscribe, and come back for Friday.
Awesome. So thank you, everybody here for commenting, watching. Please be sure to like. Please be sure to subscribe. You guys are the best. The comments were bananas all game long. Just thank you, everybody here, for Justin, for myself, for Tiago. Thanks for watching, guys. See you Friday. Go Sixers, baby. Stay awesome.
Peace.